Welcome, paranormal seekers, and let us go into the abyss. Join us to open your mind, both of your ears, and all three of your eyes, and discuss all things supernatural. We believe that we all learn from each other, and we all have a lot to learn. What will you learn today? Here are your hosts, paranormal investigator Sean Gilmore and Chaos Witch Zorina Crow.
Crow. I gotta do that every time. I think everybody has to do that. Whenever they say Zorina's name, they're like, Crow. And like I picture my buddy CJ saying your name going, Crow, like rock and roll voice. So
I need to get him to do that.
Oh, I could probably he's a heavy metal dude. I could probably get him to do that.
Tell him I'll do a reading for him for free if he does that voiceover for me. I'll hook a brother up for real.
Well, everybody, welcome to Into the Abyss. We have our special guests from Earthbound Voices Paranormal, Tami and Jim. How are you guys doing today?
Good. How are you?
Good. So first, I want to apologize to everybody. I am physically not feeling well. I was actually right before the show. I got a little sick, but it's okay. I think I'll be all right. But the show must go on, as they say. So, Zarina, how was your week?
Hellfire and tarnation, and I wanted to set people up and like blow up with great grenades, but I didn't kill anybody, so we're good to go.
That's good. Not going through those violent thoughts that we get from working all day.
Right.
And Tami, Jim, how are you guys today?
Pretty good.
We're doing good.
Yeah. Good. I'm glad to hear that. Today is it's going to be kind of a relaxed day. We're just going to talk shop. We're going to talk paranormal. We're going to talk about evidence. We're going to talk about equipment, and then Zarina will add in her witchy shit as she feels fit. I was waiting for a response. I got like,
I was actually shocked at that, Sean Gilmore, because I'm really innocent. I don't know what you're talking about.
Innocent. All the words to describe yourself, you chose innocent today. Okay. So, if anyone remembers Tami and Jim, they were on with us last year, and we talked about a really cool location that they go to a lot, right?
Yeah, probably McIntyre.
Probably McIntyre Villa.
Yeah, that's the one where you guys, or the photo with you two are in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So just because we've all been in lockdown for like 8 weeks,
Eternity.
let's start kind of daydreaming about our favorite locations and our favorite evidence, and just kind of like go from there and see what rabbit holes we end up down. So, is that your guys' favorite location?
It's one of them. We have a couple different ones. We're working on some new stuff right now. So as soon as we finally got permission to start on one of our other places.
Oh yeah.
We're waiting. Everything's open in July for it.
Mm-hmm.
It's never been investigated before, so we'll be the first group in there. So we can't wait.
Oh, what place is this? Can you tell us?
We are not
It's a
allowed
business.
to talk about.
Oh, it's a business.
Unfortunately,
Okay.
they don't put the name out there. Yeah.
Well, that's what it was. February we investigated our business. Wasn't it February?
Yeah.
And it had some really strange stuff going on in it. I mean, it was a hotel at one time.
Yeah.
And now it's just there's 2 or 3 businesses in it. There's 2-star hotel that actually caught on fire twice through the years. And our understanding is there's 17 deaths.
There's 17 deaths is what they've heard, but they are unconfirmed.
We can't find any kind of records on
They
it
haven't
yet.
been able to confirm that yet.
Okay. So I bet going to those new places, those new businesses, That's honestly one of those are my favorite, actually.
Yeah.
I like doing private home investigations. I like doing private businesses. I like going and helping the historical locations, and I like going investigating there. Those are really where I get to learn. For me, I go to those big historical locations to learn, and I bring that with me to those types of investigations with the private home and private business investigations.
Yeah. So that's our deal. Like we talked about before, we don't go to every place it's historic as far as there's a lot of places we've either been the first group in or like the second or third group in, and that's the places we like to find. Everybody can go to like Waverly Hills, that's open up, pretty much anytime. But we just like the little oddball places that we like to investigate, which we find more fascinating, I guess, than stuff everybody else has done.
Now, with those, would you say that there's a little bit more of a challenge though? Because for me, just like if you go to a place that's been investigated a lot, the spirits that are there, they're used to people asking questions and doing, speaking out with EVPs or even using finding ways to manipulate spirit boxes and all the other gadgets that we use when we investigate. But then you go to a place that hasn't been investigated yet, or a place that's only been investigated a few times. Those spirits don't really know what those gadgets are or how to use them.
Right.
We don't use a lot of gadgets really anymore. We pretty much rely on our cameras and our recorders. We have a couple little, pieces of equipment we use, and that's about it.
Yeah, we've really slimmed down on what we actually use on an investigation.
Spirit box, we have one. We have an SB7. We also have another one, but we've only used it maybe in the 5 years twice. Mm-hmm. Because, the spirit box, there's so much stuff that it can, radio waves and stuff, it picks up, it basically, it just flips through radio stations. And you could be asking something and you get a voice, is it really communicating, or you just get lucky and that word popped up from a song, that's why we've got a spirit box, but like I said, we don't use it.
You know what? I have a couple hack radios. That's all I have. I don't even have an SB7 or SB11. I've honestly I've never really got too into using spirit boxes and getting into that. I never got into that, I guess, that genre of investigating. I started out investigating with a digital recorder and a digital camera. And so, just snapping photos and using my recorder, trying to get EVPs. That's how I started. And honestly, that's pretty much where I'm at.
Yeah.
We use our motion ball and our 360,
and that's about it.
And that's really about it. And we've started actually using old cell phones with downloaded recorders.
Mm-hmm.
We use those, and we actually pick up a lot more on that than we would a recorder.
Yeah, I actually picked up the deal with in Atchison. We had done an event for him a couple of years ago for the Chamber of Commerce up there. And the lady's like, well, she had a warehouse that she was renting at the time. She said, she has spirits. Like, well, can we come in and investigate? And I don't know if we talked about that the first show or not that we did. That I'm walking around the basement, and this was a 4-story. At the time, it was a 4-story hardware store. It was built in it was like 1920s, I think. No, it's been so long ago, I don't remember.
It was late 1800s.
Yeah. And I'm walking around with just a deal, and I said it was Tami, the lady that run the building, and then one of her friends. And I'm walking out because they have what they call a secret room in the place. It's a room that sets off from the actual main foundation. And I'm just trying to record her, and all of a sudden I play it back, and I pick up a gentleman's voice. Now I'm the only man in the basement, so obviously it's not me talking to myself.
And it was a definite Class A EVP too.
Yeah.
Nice. I have an old Samsung that I use as a digital recorder at times too, and it does work really well. Here, real quick, I want to say hi to everybody real quick. John Ward, how's it going, brother? My old co-host. He's jumped in. Denise, she's saying hi to John, but not to us, but she's here. That's all that matters. Teresa, she was just on our show last week. How's it going? And Danny Green, he's
Mhm.
back once again. So thank you everybody for jumping on. And if you guys have any questions, please let us know. Now I was kind of snooping on your guys' Facebook page here, and you guys have quite a few. Do you guys use a DVR set, or do you guys? What type of camera setup is that?
Well, we have a DVR system. Like say, we really don't. We've used it 3 times, maybe. You got to remember, it's just the 2 of us.
Yeah.
By the time it takes 6 or 7 people would take long, but 2 people takes a couple of hours to set up a DVR system. But what we use mainly, we have Sony, the old night shots is what we use for most of our.
Okay.
The old Sony night shots, and we seem to do pretty good with those as far as our everyday camera for paranormal.
Nice. Okay. And you know what? Trust me, I understand. If you look at these cases that are behind me there, a lot of those are cameras, and it is a lot of work to set up those cameras. I've done investigations where we set up to 10 static cameras. That's a lot of work. Now our cameras didn't have IR lights on them. They aren't a DVR system or anything like that. So we had to use floodlights that we set up for, and it's a lot of work, right? Yeah. So I understand. You guys, when we're having my friend Vicky on, she's got something that we're all going to be interested in, so we don't have to set up so many cameras. It's really cool, and it helps historical locations. Sorry, just a little plug there for a future show.
There you go.
But I just saw those cameras, and I know a lot of people that use those DVR cameras, and I see here a remote control robot.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we've used that twice. Because all we've used it is twice so far.
You've used it twice?
Yeah, the back. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say, is it okay if I share the photo of it real quick?
No, that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, great.
The problem we have with it, it has about a 25-minute battery, but it actually has a built-in mic and speaker, so you can it's got a 100-foot range. You can be 100 feet away from it and actually do EVP sessions with it.
So that thing is really cool, though. Like, so with that thing, you can go into little crevices and other areas, or maybe an area that you feel like if there's a building that's like dilapidated and you're kind of like nervous to go yourself, go ahead and send the robot. And I mean,
we actually have a friend of ours that's trying to tweak a battery for us. It'll last us about 45 minutes.
Well, that's cool.
Because the biggest battery that the actual company makes is like a 25 minute battery. But I mean, we can set it up on our phone. We can actually do live feeds with it. So it's got quite a bit. I wish we could figure out the time where it would do more than 100-foot range would be nice.
Yeah. John Ward says it looks like a battle bot.
I know we got Paranormal Robot Wars. It's awesome. I'm just saying.
There you go. I'm for it.
Let's see who could build the coolest paranormal robot.
That's what I'm saying. We could have like an Into Abyss one. Justin could have like Interface Death. We could have like Paranormal
Interface
Robot
Death
Wars.
already has one. That's cheating.
What? I did not know. Well, we are slacking, bro. We need to get on this robotic tip.
I know. I'm
for real.
Cheating because I'm jealous. The Earthbound Voices has it already.
Look, only thing I can put together Legos, and that's about it.
I have a pair of See that guy?
Yeah, I see.
He's a REM pod.
Yeah, that's cool. I made a REM pod once out of a little stuffed dog, and I broke it. It's like, really? I got it all broken.
Well, you know what?
And the next time it busted, I did something. I never have taken it back apart to fix it.
That parapooch is kind of broken too. His voice box is broken. He lights up, but he has no bark, no more beeping, no more music. I went to go in and look at it. So I figured it would take like some soldering. They use like some sort of like glue, like I don't know. I'm not techie. I'm gonna go. I know I'll break it. So I have a friend who's gonna help me.
Yeah, I'm not tech either, but I actually did build my own REM pod.
You did?
My own REM pod.
That's awesome.
So you know what they need to do? They need to take and make his voice like it's like a freaking German Shepherd or like
Don't
or
scare 'em
Cujo.
away.
Dogs would be
You
cool.
need a Cujo voice in that little
Scare 'em
pooch.
away.
That would be awesome.
No, man.
That'd be totally cool. And then his eyes like light up red.
Yeah,
I
like
got
Homie.
could you imagine if you had like a howl or a bark like a hellhound? Do you know what that would like be so legit scary,
paranormal-
awesome?
Paranormal
Hellhound,
Hellhound.
right? That's
The
what I'm
Paranormal
talking about.
Hellhound. We could make a YouTube channel just based on that.
There you go.
Like the adventures of the Paranormal Hellhound.
Okay, we need to write that down, and none of y'all bitches better steal our ID. You know who you are. Don't make me
Sorry.
put your ass in a jar, bitch. Sorry.
I'm sorry.
Disclaimer,
That's so
I'm
funny
sorry.
because we have had ideas that we spit out kind of like this that were kind of stolen from us that we were planning on implementing. This is kind of more of a fun idea. Hey, if someone does use that idea, I just ask that you give us some credit. That's all I'm asking for. That's it. Okay.
So my next REM pod, I actually found a demonic looking clown that I'm working on next for a REM pod.
Nice.
This thing is
That's awesome.
creepy. It's just
Right on.
real.
There's
And my mom is the one who gets to try to get it to where we can work with
Yeah,
it.
she's making an outfit for it because the outfit was kind of crappy that was on it.
I thought she was gonna die when I saw it show it to her.
Okay,
there's a company that actually, I don't know if it's a company or a person, but they take like old porcelain like dolls and they turn them into like investigating equipment. But they're across the pond. So it's like it's really expensive for us to get here in the States. I want one so badly. If I've asked, Terry Long, I don't know if you know her from the old Licking County Jail. She has long gone dolls. She takes old toy dolls and she paints them and refurbishes them so that they look like creepy and scary. She does makeup for haunted houses and stuff. So she's excellent. She's excellent work. I asked her if we could like somehow turn one into an paranormal equipment. The thing is that we're not techie enough to do it ourselves. So I just have her design a doll, and then I'll send it to you guys to do the rest.
well, we can always like
I'm not techy either.
Sean, I could always witch it up and make it like a Chucky doll, and have something legit, yo.
I have a Chucky doll that's signed.
Nice. By whom?
I can't think of his name. The boy that played.
The one that played Sean.
The boy that played on there. I can't think of his name.
I forgot that kid's name was Sean.
I know. I forget his name too. I know it. I chat to him once in a while on
What is
Facebook.
his name?
I don't know now. I can't think.
Probably
of it.
on the doll.
Yeah, we met him last year at a convention. Got a signature of a Chucky doll, which was pretty cool.
Okay, I have a question. I just want to know how Pennywise, the background story, how did he end up in the sewer? That's all I want to know.
Pennywise, did you watch the movies or read the book? Pennywise is not a ghost. Pennywise is like an alien.
What?
He disguises himself as a clown to coerce these kids to come down so he can eat them.
Yeah.
So my question is if he's going to eat people, why did he choose the sewer? If he's an intelligent alien, my bitch ass would have a penthouse and be getting, rich snacks.
How is a alien that looks like a whatever monster?
He could have like chose any form, but he chose a clown and live in a sewer. I'm just saying.
Kids like clowns. Kids like balloons.
Kids like sewers.
Kids like sewers. I used to go down to a sewer when I was a kid.
What did I? I used to go down a sewer a lot when I
But you were crocodile hunting, right, Sean?
No, I was looking for a place to hang out with my friends where we wouldn't get disturbed.
Ninja Turtles.
So we can do our stuff.
We used to go down the sewer and shoot bottle rockets at cars in the sewer.
Yeah, see? You guys shoot bottle rockets. You go down there.
Only candles.
Yeah, like candles. We would do candles.
Look, my idea was not hanging out in a sewer. Mine was like out in the woods, and we were building forts and
We did that too.
like that.
We did that too.
Okay.
Yeah.
We
I'm
just
just-
didn't limit ourselves to just above ground. You know, we'd go
Nope.
underground too.
Above ground, underground. You remember that
All
crazy
around.
movie? Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry, I went off on a tangent.
You did about an alien clown.
Yeah, she started talking about clowns, and that's what happened. It's like Teresa and her Bigfoot thing. I'm a clown, and the whole the clown conspiracy thing. It just legitly just wigs me out. So
No,
there you have
there
it.
are people that are legit afraid of clowns.
I don't like clowns.
Yeah. I remember I went with, I think it was my nephew. I went with somebody, and we went to the circus. Went to a Ringling Barnum Bailey's circus, right?
Yeah.
And I expected it to be like this awesome time. It was like, woohoo, you know, I used to love going to the circus when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
No, they were scared of those clowns.
Well, we had an incident back when I was young. See, I'm 50, be 52 in September. Well, back when I was in my early teens, they had that guy that was going around, you know, dressed up as clown kidnapping kids.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I lived by a school one time, and I was okay with clowns, but we had somebody, me and the neighbor kid, someone pulled in the parking lot dressed up as a clown with balloons, and he was like doing this to the car. Like after that, I kind of got creeped out after clowns after that.
Look, and he wasn't even offering any. He wasn't even offering any free tacos or anything. So
no, that might have been different. Just the balloons.
Look, I would be kidnapped real quick if they offered tacos. I'm just saying.
So what with these dolls here? I see 2 dolls, a fire truck, some shackles. Or those? Is that what those are? Are those shackles?
Yeah.
And so, do you guys, are these your like trigger objects that you guys use?
We've used them in the past. We haven't used them in a couple years. Yeah, the one actually is a motion doll.
Nice.
Actually, and
They both are.
yeah, they're both motion dolls. The one motion doll, actually, the legs and arms will move whenever the motion goes off. It scares the crap out of people at convention.
We actually, the first time we used it on an investigation, we had it sitting in a chair. We were at Malvern Manor. And the lead investigator with the other team, she didn't realize the doll was sitting in the chair.
Oh, wow.
She went to go sit down. That thing went off. Scared the crap out of her.
And like I say, we do a lot. You know, there's a couple old jails up here. That's why we use the shackles. You know, because of their you know, reproduction. They're not original, but they
Okay.
that year, the 1800s.
Mm-hmm.
We have the Squirrel Cage Jail in Gallatin, Missouri. We also have the Independence Marshal Jail, which was like 1859, I think it was. So we'll use them. Actually, the Gallatin, the Squirrel Cage Jail before, I sat in a cell one time with the cell shut and everything. Kind of sat there, was asking questions and stuff like I'd been wanted for something. We didn't really get much response. We had some response that night, you know, overall in the jail part. But as far as when I was asking questions, we didn't get a lot of response there.
Yeah.
And
Using trigger objects can definitely be hit or miss. You really want to make sure that you're keeping your, I guess, your audience in mind. I think that those, I don't know. If I were in prison and someone were to come at me with some handcuffs or shackles, I'd probably go the other way too. But if you think about it, it's also something that they're familiar with. So it could go either way, right?
Yeah, that's what I was hoping for.
I actually, one time I was going, I'm not going to say any specifics, but one time I was going to a prison or a jail with a friend, and they wanted to bring some Playboy magazines.
I love this story. It's my favorite.
Oh no, she's heard this one a few times.
Well, we didn't. We were going with the psychic, and the psychic thought that was cruel, so we didn't do it. They thought it was cruel because they thought that bringing the magazines would entice. You know, it's like teasing them. It's like, look what you can have. You can see, but you can't have. It's like, what do you think we're doing? We're looking at the magazine anyways. It's like you could look, but not. You know, It's the same thing for us. But because they're not in the physical world, she was saying that that could be cruel, that could be a negative provocation. So I don't know. What do you guys think of something like that?
As far as that, I don't see where it'd be negative. I think you'd be trying to. It's a way of communicating because they used to sneak that stuff. Nowadays it's a little more restricted. Back in the day, they would sneak those porn magazines in and out of jails and cells all the time. So yeah, I just think it was just trying to. It was something they were used to.
Yeah.
Getting snuck in. Just the idea of sneaking it in. You snuck this in so they could do another thing.
Right. I mean, why not? Be like, hey, here, I'll stick this on your cell wall. You can keep it. Just give me a good EVP. Why not? So in our chat, they are talking about Goose's air conditioning that isn't working very well. Well, guess what, Goose? Zarina was just complaining about this right before the show started. But she's in Florida. It's a little bit hotter there. And
Justin cut his finger off.
Justin cut his finger. I don't know about off.
He was trying to make
they're talking about everything but the show.
You know what? He was making a sacrifice to the gods. Right, Justin?
He says he's good. He has a mini cast on his left index finger.
What?
You know what? When I was younger, I worked at a all natural food store, and I was working the cheese slicer. And I was training someone. I'm like, I literally said, I'm like, you have to always be paying attention because the second you pay attention, you're going to hurt yourself. And I'm slicing the cheese and flink, literally cut off the tip of my thumb in the freaking cheese slicer. Oh, I was like, oh, yep, that's me being.
You didn't tell the rest of the story about the magazine.
What? There's nothing else to tell.
You lie. That's not true. You better
What I forget.
About him touching your butt. I'm just saying that's my favorite part. I was waiting.
I think that was a different story.
Sean, you being inappropriately touched by this ghost on your butt.
You just want to talk about my butt.
Look. Hey, Becky, look at that butt. Sorry.
That's funny.
So let me ask you guys, when you guys have been on your investigations and stuff, not inappropriately touched, but mind you, what is like one of the most vivid things that happens in your experience that you've either been touched, scratched, or things of that nature that kind of either really freaked you out or made you laugh? Well, for each of you guys.
I've never had any kind of experience. She's had more experiences than me.
I've had the most experiences with
Abandoned hospital. Here we go.
I've been touched multiple times. We did an abandoned hospital,
4 years ago. 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah. Gosh. And we had investigated the place 5-6 times. At least. Never had anything really creepy. We picked up evidence, but nothing really creepy or where I'd be freaked out. So we started the night off. Nothing was going on. We went and did our group session, and that's when kind of things.
Well, that's the night I got the word you on the picture. That's the same night.
Yeah. We were up in the chapel, and we always did a group session in the chapel. And one of the lead investigators, I don't know what she did or said, but she pissed off the spirits big time.
Wow.
Yeah, we started getting shadow figures. We started hearing noises. I mean, we were just, everything was going on. Yeah, so then we went up to the 4th floor, which was the ICU. And that's where I've always had my experiences from day one. I had a gentleman.
We had a psychic with us.
No, we didn't have a psychic with us. But I called it a cat and mouse game where he would come up behind me, and then as soon as I turned around, he would back off, and we would do that a few times. Mm-hmm. That night, everything changed. He showed up faster than he had before. His energy was stronger. I mean, just everything about him was completely different. And then we started having more and more strange things happen. You know, the old doctor pagers?
Yes, that was a good.
So we're sitting there after my guy had left. All of a sudden, we started hearing this beeping sound. And Jim thought it was coming from me.
Equipment, of course. You know,
And so I'm like, he's like, you're playing your recorder. And I'm like, no, my recorder's over here on the nurse's station. So I'm going through my vest. Nothing was on. Then it would be over down the hallway. And then it would be over by us. I mean, it was just all over the place. And then that stopped. And then Jim actually, we don't believe in orbs.
I'm not much on orbs, but you know what happened. You know how the hospital, when they're abandoned, you know, when they're there, the hallways go forever. Well, when they're dark, and they go even longer. And they say, I just happened to look over, and I seen this one hallway, and I seen this just like a dot of light, which I thought was weird. I thought, well, you know, there's broken glass, you know, and we really didn't have any equipment, so I just took a regular camera of ours, a regular digital camera. I took 3 or 4 pictures. But I mean, as you can look out, you know, in the dark, the hallway was getting like darker. We actually have images on the picture where you can see down the hallway. You can see everything in the hallway. Down the left side, everything gets darker. And you know how flash, you know, pivots out, because I use the flash. Yeah. The flash actually shows up on the wall on the last picture, like it would not penetrate down the hallway. That was weird that night. I mean, we've got those pictures, I think, on our Facebook or on our.
I think they're on our website too.
But it's weird. That was the weirdest thing we've ever had happen. The bad part, though, about the hospital, which is weird, they're actually back then that half of the building was being constructed for condos.
Oh wow!
So they shut certain areas that we was able to get into. They'd shut them off from us, but they had some other areas we'd never been into opened up. So we don't know if that's what caused the weird stuff or what.
You know what?
Go ahead, Sean.
I was gonna say there's this old mental hospital in the town that I grew up in. They tore down the mental hospital and they built a housing development on those same grounds.
No way.
I wonder. I'm like, do these people know? Like, and this is like a very like well-to-do, like hoity-toity neighborhood, you know.
Wow.
And I'm like, I wonder if these people know that they're buying these $500,000 houses on a probably very haunted land. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think real estate discloses that. You know what I'm saying? I don't think are they liable?
I don't think they really have to. I know that like you can go and do research and find out if anyone's died in a house. There's actually a website you can go to called like diedinhouse.com, right? I think everybody knows. But you have to pay for it. It's not a free thing. So I wouldn't expect a realtor to like go to pay for all these things. So how are you supposed to know if someone's ever died or if there's anything like that? I don't know if anybody has any clues on how that can happen. But
well, this is my insight with that. For $49.99, if you're going to get ready to buy a house, I will go into that house with you and tell you what's up. It's like, you know how you go and you get an inspection.
She said for $49.99. You know what? I'll do it for free.
There you go.
Sean, I gotta pay my bills, bro. I got.
I'm not a psychic. I don't advertise myself as a psychic. I'm a paranormal investigator. I'll use my gadgets and doodads, and you can go in there and psychic. And people, I'm a paranormal investigator. I don't charge for that.
Okay, you make me feel bad right now.
Well, you're a psychic. What do you? It's a different thing, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, you know, people check for termites and everything else.
Heck yeah.
I mean, why not check for poltergeist? You know, I'm your girl, man.
I'll tell you what. We'll team up, and you can do whatever your charge, and then I'll just volunteer my time.
Right.
We'll do it together, and they get both an investigator and a psychic.
High five. I'm right there with that.
Boom.
Yeah.
Boom. Nobody better take my idea.
All right.
It's not that I already wrote it down.
You know what? I'm not the first person to think of that type of idea. So that is not a Into the Abyss exclusive idea, but I still want the rights to it. No, I'm kidding.
There you go.
or you will be put in my jar. Disclaimer.
Yeah. Well, that night was the first time I ever had an attachment.
Yeah.
Really?
What
Yeah.
did you get rid of it? How did you get rid of that?
We did. The lead, one of the lead investigators of the other team, she was able to clear it and got rid of it for me.
Awesome.
But that was pretty freaky. I mean, I had so much stuff happening to me. I got really cold, you know, and this was January, so obviously it was cold anyway.
But colder than what it was.
But I was so bundled up, I was not cold. And then all of a sudden, my legs just started getting cold. I started feeling nauseous and just sick.
It's
like
a
my energy was drained.
Yeah.
And
it's a different kind of cold. Yeah.
It is. It was a completely different cold. And I was leaning over the nurse's station, and all of a sudden I had like this wave of energy coming at me. And I turned to the lead investigator, and I was like, she used to be a nurse at this hospital.
She worked at the hospital, which was kind of
so
cool.
She knew the ins and outs of this hospital. And I was like, what's over in this area? And she goes, well, that's all patient rooms. And she goes, why? I said, well, because we're being watched. I said, not by one or two people, by a lot of people. Wow. It was all their energy coming at me.
Yeah.
And it was the weirdest feeling I have ever had. And that was probably the first and only time I hate to say it, but I was actually kind of scared.
Wow.
Well, it's a scary experience, right? I mean, I've had experiences like that too. And I've seen teammates go through those type of experiences. It's scary. It's scary to watch someone you know and care about to go through something like that.
Well, just not knowing what was going on or what was happening.
And like say we're 4 floors up, we had to walk up, and then the stairs. This place is so bad. The stairs were all half the stairs were gone, or just pieces of stairs. So we're 4 floors up, having to walk her down like that to get her outside.
Right.
You gotta walk over stuff where doors have that have been kicked in and on the ground and everything.
On top of trying to carry chairs and equipment and everything else down these stairs while you're having this experience, it was not fun whatsoever.
Right. I mean, it ends up being, but in the end though, the learning experience that you get out of it, because there's people that live with that,
every day.
So, right. So to me, that's where I take it. I take it back to the personal experience to take it on and help the people. That's as cliche as it sounds. That's why I got into paranormal. It's about helping the people. I grew up in a home and I didn't know where to go for help. So that's why I got into it. And then it seemed like, I don't know if it was just like as soon as I got into it, it kind of like blew up, but maybe I just like got into the community and it's just like everywhere now. It just seems like there's more and more TV shows, there's more and more literature, there's just so much more out there about the paranormal. Do you think that there's a spiritual kind of like awakening going on? Do you think that there's something going on that's causing more paranormal activity? Or do you think that just people being more open to it is bringing on more types of things? Or do you think that what I'm saying is just completely wrong and off?
I think people opening up. Like, so I had experience as a child. I was in my 10 or 12 years old, between 12 and 14, just out of the blue, the house that my dad was living just all of a sudden became active one night, just overnight. The house was normal. We lived there 3 or 4 years, never had an issue. Well, my parents divorced, and my dad had his first experience after me, my mom, and my sister moved out. It just sounded like someone was inside the house tearing the house up. And say we lived there 3 or 4 years, never had any problems. But so first thing he done was grabbed a shotgun, just sit there in the bedroom. Well, he dozed off and he woke up. It was morning. He goes outside down the hallway, and the house wasn't touched. After that, I hadn't seen much. my half sister had seen an old man walking through the hallway. My stepmom had seen the same man. My dad had seen the same man. And I moved back with him for a while, and I had an experience, and it was really tricky with me and my brother. My grandmother had lived in the basement for a while. She was there by herself one time. My dad, my stepmom, and was all out of town. And she said it just felt like someone walked up and just pushed her in the chest or knocked her down the stairs. She said she was there by herself. But it was like there's like a certain number of people in the house was active, which was strange. Now one of the kids I grew up with still lives across the street, and the lady lives there by herself. She's been there like 12 or 15 years. She's never had an incident. But the people that bought the house for my parents, for my dad, my stepmom, she'd actually told my dad when before they bought that, she walked in, she goes, "There's spirits here." And she was some sort of, I suppose, a white witch or something.
Mm-hmm.
That she knew there were spirits there. That's why she wanted a house, because of the spirits, supposedly, was the story that I was told. And my parents had lived there 25 years probably.
Now,
so that was kind of weird.
I've had times, I don't know if anyone's ever like brought their like a recorder or a laptop to work at, on your lunch break, kind of go over evidence and stuff. But I would do that at my old job, and I would take my laptop or I'd take a digital recorder, and I would sit there on my lunch break with my headphones on, and I'd be listening for EVPs. And one time I caught a really cool EVP. And I go to the table next to me. I'm like, "Hey, do you guys want to hear something cool?" And then they're like, "What is it?" I'm like, "It's an EVP." They're like, "What's that?" And I explained to them. One girl was like, "No, I don't want that coming home with me." I'm like, "Okay, okay." Do you think that simply listening to an EVP can cause your home to be haunted? Now, this also, I want to follow up with, what about watching the paranormal documentaries or TV shows? Do you think that could cause your home to be haunted?
I know picking up a haunted item, you can bring something home.
Yeah.
Well, right.
I know that I would say listening on my side of the spectrum, listening, watching stuff, that opens up. There are certain movies that I refuse to watch. I won't entertain it just for the fact, because I know what it does for me, and it rips open my gate and it fucks with me bad. So I say yes.
I would have to agree.
I don't think any recording home would. I mean,
I don't feel like a recording, but watching a show or something. Because I've felt a few times where we've watched certain shows that something has come through.
Which shows? Just out of curiosity.
Oh gosh, that's been several years ago. It was a paranormal show. I don't remember what it was, but it was supposedly a demonic type. One of the stories.
Amityville. I cannot watch any of the Amityvilles. I cannot watch. Well, like what is the one with Linda Blair? What is that one? The Exorcist. I can't watch those. Those mess me up bad.
So what if? Okay, what if by watching those things, right? You're getting scared. They're scary, right? And they, especially the ones about demonic possession, or the ones that are about a negative entity terrorizing a family, that could get very scary. What if it's just unintentionally, like you're watching it, your senses are heightened, so you are just more aware of what's around you, so you unintentionally make it so that it's bringing the spirit in, because you are unintentionally opening yourself up. Me being an empath and opening up spiritually the way that I am, I notice when I do that, it can do that. Do you think that the same thing could happen when watching these TV shows and movies? And do you think that maybe that's what's happening?
Yeah, I guess if you see something like that, I guess if you're sitting there by yourself, your actual senses maybe you'll see a shadow figure that's actually, in your home, that's actually, it's not there just from watching the show, maybe. Something like that, I guess, could happen.
What do you think, Zarina?
I've never had that happen. I guess it can happen.
I do, because I feel like, with me being intuitive and on my witchy side and everything, I am aware that certain triggers are, it does heighten me up and like hype me up, and I will get the heebie-jeebies, and I know that for me, it's like almost like a conduit. So I'm very careful of what I do, only for that aspect, to be able to, filter everything, so I'm not having craziness around me and us being subject to something that I don't want to entertain.
Well, here, D Lynn says, I think it depends on how open you are when you're listening and watching. So that kind of goes along with it, though. If you believe in something, first of all, I believe if you believe in something, you go in something with the intention, then more than likely that's probably going to happen, especially when you talk about the spiritual world, right? Your intention is everything. But so if you go into a location and your intention is to go in, like let's say you're going to the Monroe house. My intention is to go and battle a demon. Well, guess what? That thing that's in that house is probably going to show itself to you as a demon. That's your intentions. That's what you're looking for. So I don't know.
Well, that's why we like to go places that hasn't been investigated at all, or very few. That way, we know going in there. We know very little about what the place is about. We'll go in there. We don't do any history. We'll just go in there and see if we can catch them. After that, when we get back, then we start doing a little history on it.
We just go off the history of what the owners or whoever it is
at first.
We go off of the history that they've told us,
right,
and see what we can do with that. And then,
it's like the train depot there in Winston, Missouri. We were the first group to investigate it. Actually, we were the second group. There was a group that was in there. I'm sorry, we were the second group. The first group, my understanding, it wasn't there very long. They didn't do a lot, but the train, it had been robbed about a mile down the track by Jesse James' gang. There was the conductor was shot. There was 3 deaths in it, and we actually, a friend of ours went with us from another group, and he's supposed to be a
descendant of Jesse James.
Well, he's in the depot by themselves. Of course, we didn't know it, because we went outside. You can kind of way back in the background, you can hear us talk. We didn't realize that the windows was that thin in there, because we're not like screaming, but he's actually in there by himself talking. I swear you hear what sounds like it says Jesse James on a recorder.
Wow. I know John Jerome's got a comment down there, Sean, and it says,
sure does.
It says, if you have a recording show and you are sensitive, it will tune you into that energy, especially if it is a dark energy. And that is true. Absolutely, John Jerome. I have felt that on like bazillions of occasions. Absolutely. Yeah. Yes, sir.
I agree with that. John Ward, he says he doesn't know whether it's true or not, but his dad always told him Jesse James was an ancestor of theirs too. Oh, okay. All right, John. Your family's got a dark side.
Yeah, it worked out. It was kind of neat though at the train depot. We picked up, it was 3. It was us, a friend of ours, and a guy from another group. So just the 4 of us. He picked up a woman's voice there. Well, Tami was the only woman in the place.
I wasn't even there. I had taken our other friend down the road to the Squirrel Cage jail because he wanted to see it. So I took him down there, and Jim and our friend stayed and set up the equipment. So awesome. I was not even there when they picked that voice up.
Wow. For me, the hardest places to investigate are hospitals. It doesn't matter if it's a mental hospital or if it's an old abandoned, regular hospital for people who are sick. Like you hear a lot of old TB hospitals and things like that. For me, those are the hardest. I can go to a jail and it'll be creepy. I might even get spooked, like I did at Old Lincoln County Jail a couple times. But at hospitals, those really get to me. I don't know. It's just hospitals are tough, right? And
Yeah.
you have so much energy. You have the babies that are born, which is good, positive, happy energy. Then you have the negative side of everything that happens. So it's so hard. I remember going when my kids were born. Um, I had a spirit follow me out when I used to smoke. It followed me outside, and I helped it cross over. And that's so hard. There was another time I went to a children's hospital with my old work, and we had a tour of a children's hospital in Akron, and I had to help some spirits of children cross over. Hospitals, they just it's just like, maybe I don't know if it's the empath, but I think that anyone who's at all empathic, which I think most people are, it's hard when you think about the things that people have gone through, and you're reaching out to spirit. I think that it really can really affect you. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I have a really tough time at hospitals. I won't go any place like mental wards or anything like that because they find they like to try to torment me, and I don't like to play games, and I that sets me at a different state of mind. So I'm just very selective of where I go, just because for my own security, you know, I'm very careful.
I mean, that makes sense. Yeah. I'm sure being psychic like you are, you've really got to be.
Yeah.
Because you don't know, when we go into these locations, there's times when we don't know what we might run into. You know, spirits don't just stay and behind one wall, right? There could be traveling spirits. You know, so you could be totally used to going to one location, go there once a week, and then one time you go there and there's something completely crazy and out of the blue happens. And that's it's spirit. Spirit doesn't just always stay in one place. Some might be happy that way, but you have those wandering spirits, and you never know. And we're asking for that communication. And who knows what we're calling to us when we're calling to them.
Well, that's like the hospital Tami was telling you about.
Yeah,
we've been there. We've been there a lot of times, and we've always picked up little energies. You see what looks like a little shadow figure, walking, looking down a hall, walking, going across the hall. The little dark. It was never like it was that night, though. And we got they did one or two more investigations. They completely shut it down, so nobody really got to go in and see exactly what was going on because they closed it off completely.
Yeah. Well, here, John Ward says any place where children were mistreated would be difficult for him. Definitely. I agree with that. D. Lynn, again, she says, I work in a hospital now. You have to know how to protect yourself from the energy. Crystals, mantras work well for her. You know what? When I go into the office, I have to make sure I shield myself. When I go to the mall, I have to shield myself. I can't just go into places, especially since I've leveled up, Zarina Crow. I don't know if this is your fault or not, but I'm blaming you.
I take full responsibility, and I love it. I love it.
And Dylan follows up with, actually, she had an experience with someone who just died asking for help on how to communicate with the family in the room. Okay, this brings me to a question for Zarina.
Yeah.
I've heard so many different stories and ways. When is the appropriate time for you to start reaching out to a family member that has passed away with the psychic? I've heard you wait a year. I've heard, is there a right time? Is there like a thing like someone just passing away like that? That's like, boom. How do they know? That is insane.
I know for me, in my experience, and I've been doing this for a long time, I feel that many people just, especially after passing, they want to know, because it's been like times that people just had someone pass like 2 or 3 days, and I have that message for them. That happened to me with my friend that passed away like last month. You remember? Yeah. And it was just like his nieces reached out to me, And it was just like he hadn't even had the funeral yet, and he come to me and just, he wanted them to know that, he's okay. So I don't think there's really any set time. Spirit will move when spirit wants to move. There's
Okay.
no, some has been years that passed, or just different things, or but I've never had like a conditional time frame. It's just, honestly, it happens when it happens, and
Okay.
it's a powerful thing, especially
believe
when you're crossing them over to the light, because
Yeah.
some people, they're ready to go. They've been in this shit ass fucking world for too long, and like I'm like, they want to be peace out. Let's
Right.
get the heck out of here and move on.
That's
Sorry.
true.
Yeah.
No, that's okay. Real quick, John
Mhm.
Ward brought this up. He
Yeah.
asked if I heard about St. Joseph Hospital. St. Joseph is a hospital in Lorain, Ohio, the west side of Cleveland. It was a haunted location. It was hosted by Tri-C Paranormal. They are tearing the hospital down. They've been posting it. I think it was this weekend. I did see that, John. Though it's really sad. They shut the place down. It just became too unsafe for investigators and people to be in. Other people were breaking in and causing damage to the building, so they had to stop doing investigations. So it's a big building and it's a lot of space. So it's sad, but I'm not really surprised that they're tearing it down. It's a big empty space.
You know what I don't understand is why, with everything, and y'all better not take this idea, or maybe it is already an idea. I'm just saying, disclaimer. Why don't they have like a para university or a para school, something where people can actually go and learn how to investigate and do things, where they have the techie side, they have different things, what, or maybe they do have that, and I've just been under a rock somewhere. I don't know. But
I think that you have been under a rock. I'm sorry.
So okay, I still love you.
So there's a lot of different programs out there. So there's one that Justin Brown's a part of. There's other paranormal teams locally. If you pay attention to your local libraries, if they ever open up again, especially around Halloween time, a lot of teams will go in and they will have a paranormal 101 class or things like that. So there is stuff like that. Like I said, Justin Brown, he talked a little bit about it when he was on our show last. But there is like a paranormal 101 thing that people can do. I don't know if the paranormal is really something that can be taught. I mean, it's like you go. It's so much of its opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Something that you don't know. Go ahead. What do you guys think?
Well, we went to when we first got started, like I say, I don't know if we told you the story. We actually found a bunch of paranormal equipment in a storage unit that we bought. That's how we started. We just had we bought storage. We used to buy storage units.
That's awesome.
I found a big
storage wars.
Yeah.
Did you like, yup?
I was at the time in the places we went, we were the key, because just about every unit we owned, for some reason, that we had some stuff in Blue Springs, Missouri over here, and nobody would buy them. We bought 17 of them, within like 4 visits.
That's
and
awesome.
We had one that was bought out from under us.
Really?
And it was, but we found equipment. We went and asked the group. And the sad part, well, Steve Bowman, that's on. Hi, Steve.
Yeah, Steve says that Jim and Tammy are the two most honest ghost hunters he knows. And you know what, Steve? That's why they're on the show, because they are good people.
He's a really good friend. He is actually the very first person we met before we got involved in the field.
Really?
And I have to tell you a funny story, because he was the lead investigator.
Oh, yeah, there you go. At the Belvoir
We were
Winery.
at Belvoir Winery, and it was our last session for the night. Steve asked if anybody wanted to go get touched, and I was like, sure, why not? Nobody else wanted to. So I go, and he goes, go ahead, go down the hallway. We're in the old folks' home. He goes, stand in the doorway, and I had my hair up in a ponytail. And you know how the ponytails, they have the strands that come down your neck. I'm standing there, nothing really happening. All of a sudden, I felt like this going across the back of my neck. And I was like, I think something's touching me. And I'm like looking around for cobwebs, no cobwebs. And all of a sudden, I feel this thing come across my cheek. I was like, something just slapped me or touched my cheek.
She screamed. She didn't just say it like something slapped. She screamed.
And they're down the hallway quite a ways. And so Jim takes his flashlight, shines it up by me. Here comes a bat flying by me.
Baby bat. It was a
I took off running. We always say the living scares the crap out of us, but the ghosts don't.
Right?
That is so true. So true.
I always have to tell that story when Steve's on because
he was there.
He was there.
He's not in the group, but he goes investigates with us quite a bit.
Yep. He's a good investigator as well.
Investigator.
So shout out to you, Steve.
So Jeremy, Andrew Ruffner says that there needs to be a paranormal equipment rental place. Now, a while back, I had Jeremy Jones on. Jeremy Jones is from Paranologies. Paranologies, to me, is some of the best paranormal investigating equipment you can purchase. I just love his stuff. I love the periscope and a lot of things that he uses. But he said that he was going to start a rental program. I never heard anything about that. I think that is a fantastic idea because there's some equipment that is so expensive, and there's some equipment it's like you want to try it. It's like it's so expensive, but then you go and you buy it and you don't like it. Like we got the this bear thing, and we got it. We spent all this money on it. And we didn't even like it. We ended up having to resell it. So we got some of the money back, but how much? It would have been so much better if we could just rent it for an investigation. And
so
there's actually a place up here that one of the places that investigates. They actually, I don't know what equipment they have, but you can actually rent equipment for one of the museums up here.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I don't know what all kind of equipment they have. I just said there's a deal that says the price that we have equipment. You can rent for the night.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Boo Bear, that's what it was, a Boo Bear event.
Yeah, the Boo Bear.
Yeah, the Boo Bear. See, when we were using that, we had all the static cameras set up, and it would just create all sorts of false EVPs. It'd be like, oh, can you finish this? It'd be A, B, C, and then it would stop waiting, so the Boo Bear would actually try and gain communication when you're not even there, and which is great if you're just setting up one camera and putting it in one room. But for us, we would put it in a room, have a camera on it, and then down the hallway down the hallway up the stairs, all of a sudden you hear, we think we're catching an AVP, and then I spend an hour debunking just to find out it's a stupid Boo Bear. By the time I was done debunking that investigation, I wanted to burn that stupid bear. It's like, seriously? Like, these are great EVPs. Wait, no. The Boo Bear.
That's like do you use the laser light a lot?
A laser?
Laser pen?
I have a laser pen that I do use. I also have it's a Christmas decoration. So like for outside your house, Yeah. So you just kind of like pause it. So you just have a huge grid that covers a huge amount of air. I used that at OSR. It was really cool.
Now, do you have that? Is it 12 volt? You plug it in the wall?
Yeah, plug it in the wall.
I have one like that I have running off a battery pack.
Really?
Yeah.
That's nice.
I'll send you. I'll show you how it was to hook up.
That's nice. I have one that's really powerful, and it's about like this big. Yeah. And it runs off of those special batteries, but it's really powerful. I actually took off the grid part and shine it down my street. and I don't know if my neighbors appreciated it, but
that's one of those. It runs off.
I was shining it in their windows, and I was just
You got one that runs off those big batteries, right?
yeah.
18650s is what those are.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
But yeah, I actually got one of the Christmas lights, so I was bored, and here a couple months ago, like I just started. First one I burn up, but I actually have a portable laser light with the Christmas ones. It's hooked up to a battery pack.
But you're not techie. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, it sounds like you're pretty good with technology and making stuff.
Yeah.
He tries.
No.
It sounds like you're pretty good at it. You're better at it than I am.
It took a long time to get my ring pod figured out, right?
The Christmas light is we actually had an experience at the Squirrel Cage jail. The first time we investigated it, Jim actually caught, not knowing that he caught a shadow figure.
Nice.
And the second time we went back, we had and Steve was with us.
Steve was with us.
Steve was with us at this one too.
Yeah.
We had our 12-volt
that time
laser
was a
light
12-volt
shining in the same spot we caught the shadow figure.
Wow.
When we were all doing a quiet session, all of a sudden the lights started flashing.
Wow.
As soon as Jim got up to go see what was going on, it stopped.
It stayed solid for another 30 minutes.
It was on for 30, 40 minutes before and at least 30 minutes after.
Wow.
Never did it again.
Of course, you get the negative people. The first thing when we post it, like, oh, it's your laser pin. Well, the problem was it wasn't a laser pin. It was a 12-volt setup.
Right.
Because the laser pin would dim down sometimes and get bright and dim down.
Steve says, "Don't blame me."
He does.
He was sitting and still beside us.
So D Lynn, she says, do you feel that equipment is person specific? For instance, she loves dowsing, but only because it works well for her. I'll tell you what. Yeah. Real quick, just kind of touch this, and I'm going to turn this over to you guys. I have seen some people that literally work magic with dowsing rods. John Ward, his wife, Hillary. Oh my God. Like you would think, like when she gets these dowsing, not she gets into it, but the abilities that she has with these dowsing rods, it's seriously amazing. I've seen her do it in person. It is so cool. What do you guys think, though? Like, do you think that it's something like I think with dowsing rods, I could see how that would be a little bit more person specific. But what do you think about other things?
I think certain people just have that touch or spiritual or will attach to them. Mm-hmm. Just like they, out of 10 people, they may find that one person that they want to communicate with. You've actually seen that before. It was. It was at Belvar Winery.
It was Belvar Winery the same time we
this was our first time going to an actual
we were in the bunker
in a investigation. We wasn't in a team. We were trying to figure out what our equipment was worth. And then they were asking different stuff, and they're like, anybody want to say something? I'm like, what was they using? Ovilus?
They were using the Echo Box.
Echo Box, okay. Anyway, so they're like, I'll say something like, my name is Jim. Can you say my name? And the first thing you get is Jim. It's
yeah.
My deal in Echo Box, basically, it's it's use your phone. So was it just picking up my voice coming back through? And then there was a lady in our group. It was her birthday. I'm like, there's a person in our group. It's her birthday. Can you tell her happy birthday? All you got was birthday. So it didn't say happy birthday. It just said, but it was not communicated with nobody else that night.
You know what?
That was my first experience with dowsing rods.
Wow.
That night. I used one of the lead investigators,
which is
dowsing rods, which you're not supposed to do because that has the energy. But I was not a believer in dowsing rods at first until I used them that night. But I was asking very specific questions, and it was literally going to what I was asking.
Wow.
I said, my husband's in this room with us. Can you point to him? And the dowsing rods pointed to him.
Wow.
I said, when I talked about the gal that was her birthday, it pointed to him.
Wow, that's awesome.
I was
That is awesome.
I was like, okay, somebody else needs to take it. That was kind of freaking me out.
if you have some free time, John Ward's team, Dead Republic, they just released a documentary. Salmonella. What? Seepless and salmonella.
Salmonella, or something like. Salmonella is like when you get poisoned.
Salmonella.
Oh Lord Jesus!
I can't say it. I don't know why.
Tami,
say
help him. He's in a hot mess.
Anyways, so they have this documentary, and don't worry, I'm gonna get salmonella. Anyways, so
that's
they have this documentary.
You got salmonella. That's why.
Whoa. Well, as long as it's not the Rona, we're good.
Oh Lord. How come we don't have a poster? I'm just saying.
Mine's signed. Salamonica.
I think I need to go.
So now everybody has this etched in their brain. Seepless and salmonica.
Salmonella.
I don't know why this is so hard. Anyway, they have one of the greatest dowsing rod sessions that is captured on video in this. Sleepless and Salamonica. It's by Hillary Ward does it, and it's she has those light up dowsing rods.
Does she have the light up ones like we just got?
Yes.
Those are $80.
Dude, I got a pair.
Well,
and they just came out. They just came out with new equipment. I messaged them to come on the show and talk about their new. They have it's like a REM pod that's shaped like a torch. I want to call it a torch. It's not the right word. What is it? When you go camping, it's a lantern, like a lantern. It's really kind of cool looking. And it's only like $100. I was thinking about checking it out.
I'm just saying, I have to order the plain ones. I ain't got $80 for the lighted ones. But if anybody want to buy Zarina those, I will.
You will take a donation.
Zarina will take a donation.
I love it. You know what? I'll tell you what. They are worth the money. Now, what do you guys think? I know you guys just got yours. Yes, D-Lynn. It is. It's Jeff and Sue's from North Canton Paranormal. We're talking about their equipment. We didn't say the name of them. And you can find them on Amazon. I
definitely want to get with John Ward, though, because I want to ask some questions on some things I've had with my dowsing rods. So.
Well, I have those too. But you know what? Hillary, I would go to her. She's the one. She works the magic with those.
She's got the magic.
She's got the. She does.
Did you see his new dowsing rod? Looks like they changed colors.
I didn't see.
I think they're multiple colors, if I remember right.
Yeah.
Steve said he'd like to see that lamp style.
Yeah.
Yeah, it actually looks really cool. They've been posting a lot about it on Facebook. It's I'll see if I can find it real quick. I want to have them on to talk about it because he makes some really, really cool stuff. D-Len, she works with Team Spectre. They work together a lot with North Canton Paranormal. So let's see. Oh, here. She even says Inspector, it's usually herself using dowsing rods, Carla in audio, Paul with video. It seems it stays in the same genre sometimes. So do you think that maybe it's like people just like have their favorite equipment that they like to use? I like to use my RT EVP recorder. Some people not so much. Some people just want to go around with the K2 meter and see what they see. Some people really swear by those Xbox.
The Connects.
The Connect, yeah. and some people don't. So I mean, I think that everyone has their own kind of niche, you know. What? So you guys just got these dowsing rods. So I mean, to go and make an investment like this on a dowsing rods, that means that to me, that's a piece of equipment that you're going to plan on using. So is dowsing something that you guys do often in your investigations?
I do. I wish he had it in purple though, so you match our logo. He makes every color but purple.
I'm really eager to try them. So
you haven't used dowsing rods in a while though, because we just
I haven't used them for a while, but yeah, I'm trying to get back into using them, and I'm kind of anxious. Well, they're so hard to see because it's in the dark.
Yeah.
You know, you can't see if they're crossing or whatever. You can't see what they're doing in the dark. That's why I like these, because you're actually going to be able to physically see what they're doing.
For sure.
And they're balanced really well. I mean, I really like them.
They glide like
Mm-hmm.
It's like you use these and it's like this is the way dowsing rods should move. It's like so smooth.
I'm so jealous right now. I just feel like, I'm just all left out. I'm just like, I just got coat hangers or something, you know what I'm saying?
I got those kind too.
Yeah. Well, it's like the dowsing rods, I don't use dowsing rods, and it was weird because, as soon as she tried, we got them out of the pack, and then, they're packed good, they're lit up, beautiful. And I actually picked them up, and it didn't take me long. I had them just as still as they could be. I don't use dowsing rods. Some people have them, they move around, some of them dowsing rods just move all over the place. And these, I can keep them still. Anybody should be able to.
Yeah, they're very well balanced.
We actually had an investigation set up 2 weeks after we got them, and it was canceled because of the virus. The virus is cool, so we should have already been on. We lost 2 investigations because of that.
So here they are. These are the rods. This is their little advertisement that they have for it.
Mm-hmm.
They're just so great. I'm a big fan.
Honestly, to help promote it for him.
I do. Well, when there's something I believe in, I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah.
And then this is the new thing that they just came out with.
Yeah, I haven't figured that one out yet. It's going to be neat.
There you go.
I think it's like a REM pod, right? That's what I.
Yeah.
It's a EMF detector, so it's a REM pod, right? Except it's like a lot more pretty colors. And honestly, I think that that's really neat. I think that it's good to have different. You got to get away from using the same stuff. I think that everyone gets bored with it, and it kind of spices it up. That's what I like about Paranologies. So the Paranologies is the 360. That detects static electricity.
That's our favorite.
Yeah, I'm a big fan too. I'm a huge fan. I love Paranologies, and I'll always talk about Paranologies and help them out too because I believe in their product.
If you look behind Tami, we have their logo on our banner.
Yeah.
The logo on our banner.
He's had a lot of great stuff. He's had a lot of his equipment on Ghost Adventures and a couple other TV shows. Sorry for the name drop on the TV show. I tried to. Yeah, that's awesome for him. I'll tell you what. He's always posting stuff on Facebook. He finds the coolest shit, man.
Yeah,
man, it's like he found this fountain. That's like, dude, where do you even find this stuff at? It's like he must know the American Pickers or something.
You see that bedroom set he found?
Yes.
Wild.
Yeah. He said, again, another person, I had him on the show. He said he would come on and give us a tour of all of his stuff. So once we get the video up, he's been really busy. I've only reached him out to him. I think it was a couple months ago. Maybe I'll do it again because, man, he's just some really cool stuff, and he makes awesome equipment. So, says D-Lin says not many paranormal shows use dowsing rods, if any. And you know why? It's because it's not really. it's hard to say definitively. It's like using a pendulum. You never see them using a pendulum on a TV show. So
oh, sorry, dogs. They're worse than kids.
Sorry.
Okay, we have a pendulum on the show.
There we go.
Wait a minute, let me put it for. Okay, there we go.
Do you have a pendulum?
We don't.
You don't have a pendulum? I have a wood one. Mine is made from wood.
This one's very strong. The spirits in this one, she don't play. So
none of your spirits play though.
Did you see what Steve wrote?
Yeah.
Look, I'm just saying, Sean Gilmore, you manifest, you ask, and then bam, look what pops up. I'm just saying, you got some magic, bro. I'm sorry, Tami. I'm sorry I'm going to interrupt you guys.
You're fine.
I want to go on investigation with you guys because I think we would have a blast. I would be like a whole like Scooby-Doo adventure. I'm serious.
There you go.
Yes.
Oh, that's Scooby-Doo.
Yes. Sean, you would be like Shaggy. Seriously. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm Shaggy?
Well, no, okay. Either that or you got Fred. I cannot see you in an ascot.
I'm not an ascot kind of guy though. So no. I guess can I just be Scooby? I like snacks.
I know you do. I think honestly you're my real life version of Dean on Supernatural.
Dean, okay.
Yes.
That's your Shaggy? Okay. I'll take Dean from Supernatural. Dean's kind of like a stud muffin though. I'm not really stud. I'm like a fat Dean.
I got the Pillsbury Doughboy thing going.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. like on the Marshmallow Man on the Ghost.
I can't believe he just said that.
The Marshmallow Man.
What was that? Ghostbusters?
Yes.
I'm just telling you.
That's me, the Marshmallow Man.
We have a weird story about the Ghostbusters song.
Well, see, I'm like Ghostbusters too. You know, the one with Melissa McCartney, because I'm a big girl. You know what I'm saying? So I got my what is that patch that they have on it's not a
proton pack.
A proton pack. I'm a fix to get me some slimy ghosts and stuff.
Yeah, we have the ultimate story about the Ghostbusters song. Man.
Oh yeah.
No.
Like I say, we go on investigations. It was like 4 investigations in a row, either on the way to the investigation or way home. Ghostbusters song came on the radio 4 times in a row. It was wild. Like, really, it's on again.
Well, that's how I am about Elvis.
Strange.
Anything
don't look good.
Anything that's going to be a major change in my life, I either dream about Elvis or Elvis shows up in some picture, form, or fashion. So that would happen to me the other night. I was like, something was going on. I was in a crux of a change, and all along my Faceline or Facebook, whatever that thing is, timeline was flooded with Elvis impersonators. And all right, I said, like, okay, universe, I got what you're saying.
Well, Facebook does watch what you say, what you're searching.
Yeah.
Steve Bowman says he loves anyone that loves Scooby-Doo. Okay.
That's why we get along so well with him.
I watched the new Scooby-Doo movie. Hold on. I want to talk about this for a second, okay? Okay, first of all, no one's going to understand this movie unless they watch the Hanna-Barbera cartoons as a kid on the USA Cartoon Express. Okay, and if you don't know what that is, then you're not going to get this movie. They brought a bunch of these other characters from other cartoons in there, and I mean, it was like kind of cool, but kind of like cheesy, and my kids had no clue what the heck was going on. I gotta tell you, I was very disappointed with this movie. I love Scooby-Doo. I was very disappointed with the movie.
We didn't watch it.
You had to pay for it. Right now, you know how because of the virus, movies are coming out in the theaters. So you can on Amazon and other programs you can watch pay an exorbitant amount of money to watch them and you have possession of the movie for like 2 days. So it's like a rental, except it's like $20 to rent it. But still, it's $20 is still cheaper than taking my 3 kids and my wife to the movie. So it was still cheaper, but still a lot of money to download something and watch at my house, I think. But whatever, getting off subject again, I was just really disappointed with the Scoob movie. I was so excited for it. I love Scooby-Doo. Oh, I have Scooby-Doo on my car. I'm a big fan. So, but I have 2 decals on my car. One is the Scooby Gang. They're running. And that's you know how some people have like the stick figure, the family stick figures? Mine's the Scooby Gang running. And then I have the Supernatural protection star on there.
Now, see, I love the Scooby-Doo and Supernatural.
Right, me too.
So,
did you see the Scooby Natural
yes,
episode?
That's what I'm talking about. So, just to tell you what a big Supernatural fan I am, my license plate is from the 4th season, the Wish season of Supernatural.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, just saying.
So, Dylan is asking if the Harlem Globetrotters are in it. You know what? I forgot. You know what? Scooby-Doo did a few movies with the Harlem Globetrotters. Did they have their own show? They did.
Yes, they did.
They did, but they were not in the movie. Nope, they had that bad guy with the dog that goes, the shaggy dog. I don't remember his name, but yeah. There's the Wacky Races. Think of characters from the Wacky Races, if you remember that cartoon. So, yeah,
I don't remember that.
I guess I watched a lot of TV when I was a kid. Saturday mornings. That's where it was at. Saturday mornings and Sundays.
I was Thundercats and Smurfs, okay?
Yes, Thundercats. I loved the Thundercats and Voltron.
Yes.
So, anyways, we are getting off subject and we are running out of time.
Yes.
Where did it go? Hold on. I thought in the ticker, I had your guys' links in the ticker. Uh-oh.
You're fired.
I messed up. That's all.
Oh, my God.
So how can people find you guys? I know you guys have a YouTube channel. You guys share a lot of your findings and a lot of your equipment and stuff. How can people find you guys?
Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We have our own website, Earthbound Voices Paranormal.net. Or no,
it's .net. That says .net. It better still be .net. It
is.
It was .com. It was .com.
I always get my Gmail and my website mixed up because our Gmail
it used to be .com,
has KC at the end of it. I always get that messed up. I always want to put KC on our website, but it's not. Yeah, so those are pretty much the places you can find us on. So
awesome. And so aren't you guys, was it you guys? Do you guys have a special project that's coming up?
No.
No.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Okay.
There's some special places coming up for investigation.
We have some,
Yeah, what places do you guys have coming up to investigate?
We have an abandoned hospital. We've been trying to get in for 4 months. We've got all sorts of people trying to pull some strings for us. It's about a 2-3 hour drive for us. It's not too far away. They're trying to. We've actually got several. We actually got the real estate person involved now, trying to help us get into the place too. They could be back for $5 million.
Steve said the dog's name was Jinkies.
What? I love it. I want a dog named Jinkies. I'm so sad right now.
What else do we have? We got that. We've got that private business.
Yeah, we got a private business. We got the Haunticon Omaha was canceled, so they rescheduled that. It's coming up. That was where we was hoping to show her dowsing rods, because the gentleman gave us cards to with some of his business cards, so we get for the dowsing rods.
So we'll be premiering those at the Kansas City paranormal conference.
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
Well, I just have to say before this thing shuts off, you guys are freaking amazing. This is my first time meeting you. I absolutely adore both of you. I swear, if I ever get up that way, I want to go on investigation. I have had so much freaking fun with you guys. You are a blast. I love you guys. It's amazing.
Definitely look us up.
Yeah.
What part of Florida are you from?
I am in Pensacola, Florida, so North Florida near the Panhandle.
Yep.
So I
lived in Tampa for 2.5 years. So.
Oh, right on. Well, my goal is to get up to Ohio sometime and definitely hang out and and just really just cause a little ruckus with Sean and the boys up there.
I remember that, Sean. Wasn't we the first one you actually did your video chat with?
Yeah,
you guys were my first video chat.
This is a lot easier than that one was.
Isn't it? Oh my goodness, that was on.
That one did not go so well.
That was on the OBS, and you guys were so awesome for that. Oh, you guys were so awesome during that. That was so frustrating. We were using an OBS program, and we now use StreamYard. StreamYard is so much easier. And I even have your guys' website and your YouTube channel ticking across the bottom, so everybody can find you guys. So, guys, thank you for coming on. I don't know. Is there anything else you guys want to plug, or anything else you guys have to say before we go ahead and end the show?
No, we appreciate. Glad to be on the show. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us on again.
You guys are welcome on anytime. You guys, seriously, you are the real thing. You guys are the genuine thing. I'm happy to talk paranormal with you guys anytime, on or off the air. So if you guys ever want to come on, let me know. I'll make room for you. All right.
Here we'll tell you about the special guest that we have coming on investigation with us.
Yes.
We'll tell you off the air. The proof have already happened, and of course the virus.
Serena is like, what?
No,
the virus not spread that because that was supposed.
We'll send you a private message, Zarina.
Yeah.
I'm so excited!
Well, we actually have a.
If you like The Walking Dead,
Wait, what?
Shut up right now!
Now inquiring minds want to know.
We'll tell you.
God.
I'm a big Walking Dead fan.
No, I am Sean Gilmore. Shut your mouth. I am.
What? I've been watching it since it first came out. When did you start watching it?
Well, I have a knife named Carl. Okay, I have things named after the
Carl.
Yes, my knife is named Carl. So I'm just saying.
You have a big jug of pudding.
That's funny.
No, but I would like a big jug of pudding.
That was one of the greatest scenes. Carl just he just fought off these walkers, and he finds this big can of chocolate pudding and just sits on the roof of this patio of a car, and he's just eating this big old bucket of pudding.
I know. That's a Zarina right there. I like chocolate pudding. I love you, Sean.
And Steve Bowman says she's still telling bad stories. So you know what? If you guys go back to Ectovision Paranormal's YouTube video on the Monroe house, you guys will see and hear me scream like a little girl because of a bat.
Okay, so I'm just saying, I am challenging you to post that after we get off the show because I want to see you scream like a girl.
Why don't you go and subscribe to the Ectovision Paranormal YouTube channel?
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Post it. See,
I will.
this is the words coming out of my mouth.
He could share it to you too. You know the whole.
I'll share it to you private message. How about that?
And I will blow it up all over Facebook. I'm just
do it. People will watch it. That's fine. I trust me. Thousands of people have already seen it. There's another one where Marcus Hogg scared the crap out of me sneezing. So, I mean, it doesn't. Whatever. I get in. I go into these locations and I'm like tapped in, right? And then things happen and I get spooked easily. My kids though, they'll like hide in like little places, corners in my house, and they'll like jump out at me and be like, think that they're gonna scare me. I'm like, oh, nice try. And
he's famous for doing that.
I've got spooked at one place one time, really, and I didn't tell her for about a week and a half about it.
I knew something was wrong just because of comments he was making, so I knew something had happened.
We did an investigation. I don't know if you're familiar with the Sally House in Atchison, Kansas.
I've heard of it.
We actually did a couple public events for him a few years ago, like 2 or 3 years ago, and we just did a kind of a walkthrough. We'd never investigated. We were like, "Hey, would you like to come up and do some public events for us at the Atchison with that and Mac and Trevillo?" They're there. Well, it's like, yeah, we'll do that. So, and downstairs had this big hole in the wall. I guess at one time it was a tunnel went from that house to another house, is a story I heard. And I wear glasses, and I'm walking. In the basement. The basement's a little tiny place. And, I'm kind of walking out, and out of the corner of my eye, I swear to this day, I seen two sets of eyes looking from this black hole in the wall. But my theory was, with wearing glasses, could something have bounced off and make it look like it was, eyes or what? But I didn't see no face. It was just like two eyes standing in this hole looking at me. I didn't say anything about it because it's like, how do you take that? What do you? Because I keep thinking, is it glasses? Because
process it, for sure. Definitely, that's something like that. You've got to process. You got to marinate on it.
Yeah, about a week and a half, I told her about it. It's like, yeah, before we go and investigate this public event, this is what I'm going to tell you real quick. Because that was my business coming up. And then, of course, if you know anything about the Sally House, they've got a pentagram in the bottom, that someone to put in. Supposedly, they practice different ceremonies there and everything, witchcraft and everything. So I go down. Tami won't go down because the basement freaks her out. There's something in the basement that she doesn't like, so she stayed upstairs. So I go down, I'm doing, a little session, with the public and everything. And someone's like, do you know where you're standing? Well, first, what was that word you had before that?
So we had a friend of ours that went on investigation with us. And she didn't have her protection crystals with her. So I was like, do you want some of mine before you go down?
How much time do you got? So
she said yes. So we have an Obelisk 5. Well, one of the guests had it. And it said stairs, push, and elemental.
Ooh.
And I said, okay, you all need to either get back upstairs or you need to get downstairs because we're not going to have people push down these stairs.
Right.
So they went downstairs. Her and I looked at each other like, did that just say elemental?
Well, that is
And so I'm upstairs listening to their session. And one of the guests says, is there anybody here with us? And all of a sudden the obelisk says, soon. I mean, in a creepy male voice. I mean, it was creepy. They all start screaming, and I'm sitting upstairs laughing because I thought it was kind of funny, but kind of freaked me out. Next thing I know, they're like, do you see where you're standing? And I'm like, oh, no. And they're like, he looks down and he goes, well, I guess you all are safe, but I'm kind of not.
I was sitting right there on it.
I was like, oh my God, I can't believe he's standing on that thing.
I was protecting the rest of people. Good job as an investigator.
I'm upstairs just shaking my head going, oh Lord.
And I stayed there till we were done with the session. Like, why move now? I'm already standing on the pentagram. It's painted, because they painted over it through the years, but it's supposed to be a pentagram. So I'm standing right on top of it, didn't even realize it.
But a pentagram's protection. So if you had to be anywhere, being in that pent, you were in the right place.
I was in the right place then.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
I was like, leave it to my husband.
That's the only time I've gotten scared anyway. It really wasn't scary, just like freaking out. Like, what did I see? What did I not see?
That's you you find that a lot in the paranormal, right? You go, it's like you're questioning, what did I see? There's times it's like do you ever like get like something in your mind's eye when you're investigating, kind of like, have you ever had a spirit kind of do that to you?
I haven't. Just your attachments.
Yeah, just the attachment. I think I've only had. I mean, I've had them drain my energy quite a bit. To the point where I've had it a couple times where it's literally knocked me to the ground.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's do this to kind of to end the show out. I know you guys said that we needed to be. We're a little bit over.
We're good.
You're good?
Yeah, we're good.
So if somebody's getting into the paranormal, they're just first starting to get into the paranormal, what would you say is the thing that they need to be most mindful of when they're investigating?
Themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great
Yeah.
answer.
That was something that, and I think Zarina is in agreement with me.
Yeah.
That was the first thing that we were told. You need to know your body. You need to know yourself.
Your senses.
Your senses. You just need to be aware of what is happening to you. And if something's not right, you need to speak up, and somebody that has more experience needs to say, okay, you need to get out of here, or, you just need to be aware of yourself.
Yeah. I always say, listen to that instinct. When you get that fight or flight thing, it's probably a good time to leave. It depends.
Yeah.
Everyone is, has different limits, right? So, but when you get that feeling, when it's time to go, it's probably time to go. I just say, listen to that gut instinct. That's usually the first thing I say, and I always recommend to do some sort of protection for yourself. Do you guys do anything for protection?
We have crystals that we wear. I say prayers.
Yeah.
I've had several instances where I've had to use all of that. We were up at St. Joe at a location, and we were with some other friends of ours, and I was getting another attachment.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And thankfully it was after the hospital, so I knew what was happening. And I told everybody, I said, I need to step out of this room.
Yeah.
It was just that room too at the time.
It was just that room.
The rest of the building, it was just that room.
And that was where we picked up the EVP that said Satan.
Yeah.
Wow.
Ooh, wow. That is crazy.
It's
real quick, D-Lynn says, have respect. I agree with that.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
yes.
When you get
like they were alive.
I sometimes wonder, when you get EVPs like Satan, right? Do you think that that's a spirit trying to kind of mess with you a little bit, maybe try to scare you, like I'm going to say this scary name, Satan, and they're going to get scared?
Yeah.
You think that that's literally something that is dark that's trying to let you know that they're there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very possible.
It's not like on the Ovilus we picked up church. It was on Sunday morning at 12:01. We picked up the word church on the Ovilus.
Oh wow, that's creepy.
Weird. That was kind of that was really creepy.
That is creepy.
And we were getting responses with different types of church-related subjects.
Music.
We were talking about our favorite types of hymnals. What we did in church. Different things like that, and we were getting really strong hits on equipment.
Wow.
That's my problem. It goes back to equipment. Some of the stuff, like certain devices, like the recorder, like that time that EVP I picked up.
Yeah.
Or like the Ovilus. Is it actually manipulated? Because we didn't say church. We try to watch what we say because we don't want to, say church, then pick up church, 10 minutes later. You don't know if it's, it's a word generator. So is there a mic built inside of it that's coming back? Or, like the, what's that one?
The Echo Box.
The Echo Box.
Yeah.
So we try to watch what we say.
Okay. I mean, that makes sense. That definitely makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And I was going to say something, and I forgot what it was.
Sorry.
No, that's just part of ADHD.
Look at look at that squirrel. Sorry.
I thought you had something to say that was like important. Like, ooh.
Don't
Usually
judge
you
me
get, like,
about my squirrel.
So, what were we talking about? I think I totally just lost my whole train of thought. It's all your fault.
Okay, we were talking about less active listening. She was talking about hymnals,
Hymnals,
and the
church.
voice box and church stuff and the devil. It was the devil
Yep.
on there. So keep with
I
it,
like how you
Sean.
Zarina Crow.
Sean.
No one ever said my name cool like that before. So
give me a moment.
So wow, I totally I'm like drawing a serious blank. I had something to build off of what you guys were saying, and I just totally am like building, like I got a blank.
You need a Red Bull.
Oh my goodness.
I tell him every time, Miss Tami, that he needs a Red Bull because like it's about that time and his brain just goes.
Well, I mean, it's like if I take an energy supplement and it's too late in the day, I'll be up all night. I already have trouble sleeping. So
we were also talking about the picking up church at a certain time too. Maybe that's what it was.
I don't know, but I've always wanted to investigate at a church.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that'd be. We've never investigated a church.
Mm-mm.
Wouldn't that be cool to go to an old church?
Oh, I got a joke. Can I say it real quick? What kind of spirit you find at the church? A Holy Ghost. Ah!
I looked at what they said.
Look, you opened it up, Sean. I could not help myself. I'm sorry. Okay.
Oh, speaking of church, we were at Baker University doing an investigation, and we were in what they have as their practice theater now, and it used to be their church.
Mm-hmm.
We were sitting there, Jim was asking it questions, and I made some comment, which, and I don't know if you guys have ever had this happen, but we got this.
Yeah.
I love it.
We've gotten.
Played that back, and I was like, what did they just say?
We just get a raspberry. Is that a raspberry EVP?
Yeah. It was a raspberry. I was like, that has never happened before.
How do you explain that EVP? How many people's in the room?
There's 4 of us.
Okay, there's 3 or 4.
Yeah, 4 of us. It was like, we were all like going, what? Like, not the first.
Yeah.
We have a funny ghost.
See, that was another place that we were the first group to investigate was Baker University.
Mm-hmm.
I know one of the professors had done something there, but as far as an actual team outside, from being the professor of the school, we were the very first group to go in there and investigate. We've been there twice.
That's awesome. It's so cool when you get to go investigate a place that not many people get to investigate, and that opens you up though to a lot of unknowns.
And we debunked some of one of the stories too.
Yeah, it's even in books.
That's awesome. Do you guys do private residences?
No.
We've had one contact, but that guy fell through. He just disappeared.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, that's a risky business. I'll tell you what. So you got to be careful when doing that. We're more than just the paranormal.
Yeah, he had some mental issues.
We got to check him more because he lived with his mom, and he had some mental issues. We got to check him more and more. We would over and talk to him and talk to her. Then all of a sudden, he just vanished. He was sending us pictures 2, 3 o'clock in the morning when it's I don't mind trying to find out what's going on, but 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, can you send pictures at a decent time?
Yeah, we're we have to go to work early in the morning.
Yeah. And it's like, I wasn't trying to upset him. It's like, well, we'll get over there, as soon as we can, because, his mom had something going on, so she didn't want us over there. Like, we can't get over there till your mom lets us over, and then all of a sudden he just disappeared.
Steve wants to know. I'm going to let you guys answer this. I blame things on phantom smells all the time.
Yeah.
Do ghost farts smell?
Leave it to Steve.
I'll tell you what. Phantom smells happen.
I think they're ghosts.
Especially when you have pizza during an investigation.
Exactly.
Phantom smells will happen.
Mexican food.
Oh.
In a closed jail.
Oh, don't have that Taco Bell before an investigation. Nope, don't do it. Here, Laura Holmes says we have smelt farts and no one farted. Now, here's the thing, right? When you talk about a smell like a fart or something that smells like dung, poop, whatever you want to call it, right? A lot of people associate that smell with negative energy.
Yeah.
So how do you know if it's a ghost fart or if it is the sign of a negative energy? So I mean, I don't know. I've had phantom smells a couple times. The most recent one was red wine. Oh, I smelled it. It was right there into my nose. It smelled so good. I'm like, oh, I want a glass of wine now. That's how good it smelled. Nick says haunted beans.
I always smell like cigarettes or cigars.
I got that a lot. Perfume.
Yeah. And
especially like that lavender, like perfume, like the old time days, like
or like that old man aqua velvet, like when some of my
Noir. No, I'm kidding.
No, like one of my Loire spirits. I swear he's like he wears that old what is that? It's Old Spice aqua velvet kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I love you, bro, but you gotta update that smell, man.
So Nikki says, I smell cigarettes every now and then. So
I will tell you the worst thing I've ever smelled is I did a missing case. And one of the top things of my gift is I can smell whatever. And when I smelled that person's decomposed body in my nose, it literally took almost a week before I could really get it out of my system because it was so impregnated to smell that decomposed body. It was horrible.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's some of the problem, though, like say with cigar smoke and cigarette smoke, a lot of that stuff, the wood expands and that will cause it to pop out just out of the blue. Well, it's hard to decipher, cigar smokes to a point. A lot, like her family's got a haunted cabin that's haunted. And a group went in there, and it's like they rented out to hunters and everything. And the first thing the group come up with, they smelled cigar smoke. It's a wooden cabin. It's gonna smell, It's like it was just some of the stuff they come up with was just unreal. You're like, come on, anybody, a wooden cabin, cigars, cigarettes, I mean, they don't let. The hunters aren't supposed to smoke in the cabin.
Nobody's supposed to smoke in there.
But the family.
Her dad used to smoke when they lived there. Yeah. When they built it 30 some years ago. But he hasn't lived there for I don't know how many years, but
And we just thought that was just weird from a group that supposedly had 10 or 15 years. And one of their deals was they could smell cigar smoke in certain places of a wooden cabin.
You know what I think too is a lot of times when people smoke like that and they're not supposed to, it gets impregnated in the woods and different things like that. And when the cabin heats up or there's certain weather conditions, exactly when the weather expands, that's how we've kind of debunked a lot of things too, as people don't think about that. And that's where those smells come from, or especially if it was carpeted and they've never changed the carpet. You can't get stuff out of carpet. I don't care. It's just
I mean, it'd be a little different if it was just a normal house, but it's an actual wooden
It's an
cabin.
actual wooden
So
cabin.
there's wood
Yeah.
everywhere. So
Yeah.
their family had smoked there, and everything. So it's not like it is a smoke-free cabin.
I mean, it has been for years, but still, you have 10, 15 years of somebody smoking in there. That's gonna be ingrained into the wood.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, with that, talking about ingraining things in the wood, there's a theory about energy getting into sandstone and other stone type buildings, kind of like, as Zach Baggins would say, kind of record it like a record player.
Demonic. Oh.
Well, we're going to old school Baggins here. Before he got the I remember he would the analogy he used. The analogy I remember, I think it was him. Oh man, I hope I'm not wrong. There's so many shows out there. I'll just say, I'm going to correct myself. There's a guy I was watching on a TV show. He was talking about energy being encrypted into the stone of a building, and it plays back like a record player. So, do you guys think that different stones, of different materials, like the smoke getting soaked into the wood, can the energy of people or a traumatic event be soaked into the stone of a building?
Well, it'd be just like with crystals and everything. I mean, crystals has an energy. I would rather, like, what is it? Limestone.
Mm-hmm.
It's limestone.
Yeah,
like limestone.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was going to say. If you think about like the Masonic, temples and things that are built, those cornerstones, they have sigils in them. They have things where they have did rituals and different things. So absolutely, beyond the shadow of a doubt, I'm in agreement that those things can be impregnated with whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, we investigated a cemetery, and
that was weird.
Jim had put his recorder on one of the headstones
from 1800s.
It was from the 1800s, so that was probably some kind of limestone or stone.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And he set it on there, and we were out there for
a couple hours.
Throughout
the park.
We went to go play it back, and all it was static.
Wow.
It's set up on a headstone. It was nothing but static. But yeah, we pick it up and go to a newer part. I was carrying it the rest of the time. It was fine. But it sat on that headstone though for 30 minutes or so, because we just kind of let it sit there. It was kind of did a walk around and talking. Just kind of let it sit there. But that whole time that thing was just like static like crazy. But it was fine after we picked it up, and then I was carrying it around with us the rest of the night.
Mm.
That's an experiment. If you go to a cemetery, take an extra recorder, just see what you get.
Mm-hmm.
On the limestone, headstone.
That's a great idea.
And also, I have to say, because me being a conjure mama, when you take stuff from the grave, when you take stuff from the graveyard, don't be surprised if you take a lot with you, because a lot of people like to go and get graveyard dirt or take things, and I'm going to tell you, don't be pissing people off at the spirits and stuff and taking stuff that it don't belong to you, because they do not like that unless you give an offering and have permission to do that.
Right.
Let me tell you, that is a big, big thing. People go in there to graveyards and investigation, and they don't know and honor and respect those spirits, and they want to take and do stuff. Let me tell you, the dead, the G'day, that ain't nothing to play with.
Yep.
Yeah.
I watch Ryan walk in a cemetery still, even in the dark, like, I'm sorry, excuse me.
Yeah.
I'm horrible about that. Like, I'm walking the wrong way, sorry.
We always do that.
I walk across them.
Well, I always say the best way to do it that you don't piss them off is leave 9 pennies at the front before you go into the cemetery, because she's the one that governs the cemetery, the G'day and things like that. So always make sure you try to be respectful and leave them something, and they'll take care of you and protect you. Just FYI out there, just a little knowledge is power.
Especially with that, because us paranormal investigators, we love to go to cemeteries.
Mhm.
And man, I'll tell you what, I don't take anything from a cemetery. I'll leave it there. I feel like that's not mine.
Yeah.
That's just me. I mean, I know everybody's got their own little thing, so I won't pass judgment. But I just me personally, I don't feel like it's mine to take. So unless like there's I don't know. I wonder if there is a time when like I feel like there it is appropriate to take something. I don't know. Maybe if I feel like it needs to be cleaned or moved to somewhere else. I don't know.
Yeah. But I feel like if you're honoring and doing something like that is a whole other ball game versus people just going in there and just doing whatever they want and not having respect. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's hard to get in a cemetery at night, though. It takes a lot. I mean, like I say, we're lucky because the lady the cemetery we investigated, there was the newer part, it was military, and the back part was like 1800s. And she contacted the local police department because right behind the cemetery is these high dollar homes.
Yeah.
And we were out there with flashlights, at 10, 11 o'clock at night,
And she gave us a letter that gives us permission to be out there.
Cool, but it was not an easy thing to organize.
It's not, is it? There's a cemetery out by me called, I think it's Bowman's. Is that right? I don't know. Anyways, there's a couple of cemeteries I've gone to at night, but there's this one, and it's an old Irish cemetery. And I actually got in contact with the city. I got permission for us to go there. We made a donation to go there, and what they did was they let the police know that we were going to be there.
Yeah.
And I had an email showing the date and everything. We're going to be there just in case. But always make sure that you have permission.
Exactly.
Yeah.
99.999% of cemeteries close at dusk. If you are there past dusk, you are trespassing. There's one story that I do kind of share with people. There's an old cemetery that is literally in the middle of the Cuyahoga Valley National Park out here by me. And I assumed that since it was right there in the middle of the park, I assumed that was part of the park. National parks don't close. So I was like, hey, guys, I know this cemetery. Let's go.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so the police came, and they're like, yeah, this is not part of the park. You guys are trespassing. I was like, oh. And so they're like, oh, you guys are looking for ghosts. And like, are you guys paranormal investigators? And I'm like, and then like at this time, I'm like literally like shoulder deep in Ectovision Paranormal. I'm like, nope, I don't do the paranormal. I'm here just tagging along. I'm like, I kept my mouth shut. And then like, so, and what's funny is that this was not the first time that I had been there. I never had a problem until this one time. And so when we got back down to the cars, they're like, whose car is this? We have this license plate and our records as being here before. I'm like, it's fine. I'm like, and so like they're like, I'm like, guys, and I was like, okay, fine. I was like, I have been here. I've been here multiple times, and I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm like, it's right here in the middle of the park. I thought it was part of the national park. And they're like, no, it's a cemetery. Cemeteries aren't part of the national park. I'm like, sir, it's right here off of the trail. And there's other trails that lead off in and around the cemetery. So it seemed like it was part of the park, and there's no signs that state that. They're like, you don't need signs to state the law. I'm like, all right, I'm going to shut up. I was like, okay, well, I was like, I'm sorry, I didn't realize that, that's what it was. It won't happen again. And they're like, that's right, it won't, because if it does, we're going to impound your car. I'm like, oh.
I'll be like, I just won't bring my car next time. I'll
bring someone else's car. I'll have someone else drive. So, but the bottom line is, like, I didn't realize. It literally seemed like it was part of the park. There was a pretty decent sized group of us, and you got to make sure, do your research. So that was all of us. There, we were a group of investigators. I think there's only a couple people there that weren't seasoned. None of us did the research. We all just assumed it was part of the national parks.
Or you would think it would be.
Right. But it was a learning lesson. Always do your research. If you're going to go, if you do it like me, I go into the national parks. If I get bored at night, I'll go there with a digital recorder and I'll walk through and see if I get anything. So just make sure, like there's, I don't know if you guys ever heard of Helltown here in Ohio. A lot of that is not true. And if a lot of that is in the national park, but a lot of it is also private property. You go into that private property, they will get you for trespassing. So you got to be careful. So you don't want to be disrespectful. You don't want to be that guy that gives us paranormal investigators a bad rep because you were trespassing and you broke the law, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's like there's that Belvoir Winery here in Liberty, Missouri. I mean, the main building now is hotel and everything, but there's three buildings on the property. And then, the windows are knocked out, doors are kicked in. They got private property, no trespassing all over. And there's always somebody in there in those buildings. We'll go out there, we'll walk around the buildings, sit outside, door, something, do an EVP session. Mm-hmm. But we will not go inside the buildings. We would like to, but we will not go inside the buildings.
Right.
It says private. It says, no trespassing. That's enough for me. A lot of people don't care, and that's the problem.
Well, even though we know our way around the place,
because we help with events there.
Yeah, because we helped with events.
Yeah.
For about 6 months, we know our way around the buildings. We still won't go in because one, it's putting our reputation online, and two, it says no trespassing. No trespassing.
Right. 100%. Don't trespass.
And we've actually kicked
permission. Yeah.
We've actually seen people yell at them get out of the buildings before. Like, get out of there. You're not supposed to be in there. We're going to help out.
Well, it's just always make sure you do your research before you go in. There are some places that may not be owned, but here, let's keep it real.
Yeah.
Every piece of property is owned by somebody.
Well, exactly, because you had that one old she was on a TV show. I don't remember which TV show now. I don't remember her name, but goes around, travels, and she sees an abandoned building. She just goes inside of it.
Yeah, that
building's owned by somebody. It may be abandoned, but it's owned by somebody. That's still private property. She just acts like it's no big deal, That's giving up. Considering she was on a TV show at one time, one of the paranormal shows.
Yep.
That's making like other people like, well, she can do it. Why can't I? And they go in and everything to different places.
That's the truth. And that honestly gives us all bad names doing that stuff. No one's perfect, right? Accidents happen, but usually if it's an accident, something like that, usually there's leeway. Like in what happened with me, they did let us go, and they let us go with the warning. Because we obviously didn't realize we were there. I support the Cuyahoga Valley National Park. I always make donations for them and everything. Yeah. So,
you're an honest mistake, though. There's a difference.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Usually when it's a mistake, there's leeway. They'll go easy on you. But when you go in, you're kicking in a door, you're sneaking in a window. If you're doing something like that, you're climbing over a fence.
Yeah,
climbing over a fence is a good sign that you're trespassing. Just
well, that's the bad part. Like, see, it's one thing. It's bad enough for somebody like you or any of us do that. But when you was an actual TV star, that's even worse, in my opinion.
It is because that's representing all of us in a bigger scale. So 100%, it really is, and that's not okay. And then, like you said, people think that I can do that too.
Yeah.
And then somebody goes, or other than the law, let's look at it like, okay, well, you're going to go into this abandoned house. You don't know what the house, how secure that structure is. You can go jump in that window, then fall through the floor. Next thing you know, you fall down 3 stories, and you have a broken back, and you're laying there. What are you going to do then?
It could be a meth lab too.
Well, that too.
It could be.
That's true. You can end up. Who knows who would be in there? You can come across some people some homeless people.
Yeah. We lost.
Zarina's talking, but there's nothing's coming out.
Nothing's coming out.
What are you saying? We don't hear you.
Why it was so quiet.
We don't hear you. I was wondering why it was so quiet.
That's what I said too. Boy.
Nope.
Nope.
Uh-oh, she's getting frustrated.
I can't read lips.
She's still talking. Do we have any lip readers in the room?
That's weird. Uh-oh.
One
She's
moment.
gonna message me. She's gonna message me. Oh,
She's
she
gone.
left. She left us, guys.
Yeah.
She might be rebooting.
It must be, but yeah, that's the problem I have. It's one thing for it's bad enough for somebody like us, but when you're and maybe that's why that person's no longer on TV. We lost
Definitely.
we lost you for a minute.
No, I apologize. I'm trying to just multitask. I'm horrible at it. I'm going to send Zarina a new link, see if that helps her at all. Get her back on. But I mean, when you are in a TV show or something like that, I don't care if you are an athlete or if you're an actor or what you do. If you're in the public eye, you have a responsibility to show. I don't know. You have a certain responsibility, right? You can't just go and I don't know. If people watch you, people are going to copy what you do. I mean, I have kids, right? They're like, "Oh, hey, look, he did this, so I can do it too."
Yeah, because there was always live feeds and stuff done of them walking through the buildings or the house or the farm, or just live feeds and stuff on Facebook or YouTube. YouTube. Still lost her.
Is Zarina back with us?
I see her.
No, we can't hear you.
Still can't hear her.
Uh-oh, I heard something.
Something crackled.
There it is.
Am I there?
Oh, there you are.
Hey.
There you are.
It was my phone. It was being bajiggity. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay, I'm back. I'm good.
So Nick Mule says, here in Chicago, one of our most infamous cemeteries, Bachelor's Grove Cemetery, has a strict policy for trespassing for anyone that goes out there at night. And you know what? They should, because you know what? There are people that go and they deface cemeteries, and it is a horrible, horrible thing. And cemeteries need to be very mindful of that. I don't know, why do people like to kick over headstones? I mean, who in their right mind would be like, hey, look at this dead person's headstone. I'm going to kick it over and break it.
Yeah,
I'm going to cost this family freaking thousands of dollars. Or I'm going to make their insurance rates go up. In case you didn't know, a lot of home insurance policies will cover your headstone. But still, that doesn't make it right. That's going to make their rates go up. So, I mean, why? I don't know. That bothers me. I mean, death is such a big part of our lives, isn't it? I mean, it's part of life. And to deface it is just, I don't know. It's like the ultimate disrespect.
Yep.
It is. Very much so.
Sorry, I went a little rant there.
That's okay. It's what usually I do. I'm just glad it's just not me.
She was trying. She just didn't have her mic working.
So, Zarina, you were talking a lot, and we could not hear one thing you were saying. We want to know what you were saying.
I don't remember. It's like 5 ago, Sean. Look, I'm telling you. I just agree with what you guys were saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Agreeing. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I think it all just boils down to respect.
Yeah.
No matter where you're at, what you're doing, just respect.
Yeah. And I think a lot of the times, like you said, we have to be aware of what situation that we're going into physically, emotionally, you know, physically, especially because people, you know, their desire want to know things. You know, you can't be stupid enough to, like you said, go in through a window through and die. You know, we have to take that aspect. You know, we all have people and loved ones and families. We have to take all of that in consideration, and we have to practice responsibility in a lot of regards to teach the ones who don't what the right message is. Legitimacy to the paranormal field, and that, you know, we have that Hollywood celebrity. Let me say, not a mouth word, but I'm saying for the real deal people like, you know, you guys that are, and this is what you're doing. You're bringing the real deal. You know, we appreciate that because that we see that is out there, and I some of these people off of follow because they last damn nerve. Because I can't. They're all about their fame. They're all about whatever this and that they have. That's not what it's all about. It's not. We're here to serve a purpose and help people and bring knowledge in them and wisdom and have a good time. Yeah, sometimes a community of understanding, and you know, it's not a, you know, if you're going to get your TV show or how many videos or documentaries out there, or if you got, you know, this or that, you know, it's about a common purpose and where your heart is. So I'm just glad I could tell that you guys have a heart and you love what you do, and that makes the difference. And I'm just saying that. So that's just Arena.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of the people that are on these movie shows and TV shows,
Yeah.
I feel like they've kind of lost why they got involved in the paranormal in the first place.
We
Right
actually
there.
don't watch those.
Yeah, we don't watch them anymore.
Yeah,
And you know,
Mark-
I will tell you what. And you know what? I will tell you, I don't watch it. I don't watch it either, and it's like I get annoyed at like psychic shows, like, excuse my language, but the Long Island lady, that annoys the shit out of me.
What about
I
that
just
Hollywood guy? You know that young kid, that young Hollywood kid?
I don't know about. All I know, it just makes me mad because it's just like, you know. But we won't go there. We'll focus on the positive.
Yeah.
But all I'm saying,
Here's the show I
agree.
like.
I like what Tammy said.
There's a show I like.
I think the last 2 or 3 years.
I want to hold on. I like Destination Fear.
Oh wait a minute, I do like him. That's the only one I like.
Yeah, he's pretty good. I do like that one.
I mean, they're like some kids.
Yeah.
They're like literally just out to experience the paranormal, and it's just like, I mean, yeah, I think they dramatize some stuff, but I mean, it's a TV show, right?
It's TV.
Mm-hmm.
We like Expedition Unknown?
Yeah, he didn't really do
Josh
paranormal.
Gates.
He did
Josh
lots of
Gates.
things.
Josh
He does-
Gates is
It's not
awesome.
really paranormal.
Yeah, it's not
No.
really paranormal, but you know, he delves into it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
He does. I like Josh Gates.
2 or 3 years.
I'm
I think-
jealous of Josh Gates, honestly. Like, I would love to do. He travels the world to find all sorts of oddities. Oh man, I just watch it to live vicariously through him. It's awesome.
Yeah, exactly. But I think the last 2 or 3 years, as far as the paranormal shows we watch, is places that we, you know, there's a few places that we've actually was to before they got on TV. So we'll kind of watch them to see what they catch compared to what we caught.
Yeah.
Because I mean, we went to Malvern Manor before it got on Paranormal Lockdown. We was there. We were there the week after they filmed.
Oh wow.
But we were there like 6 months or so before they had ever, been in the place. Independence Jail, Independence Jail, and Marshall. We were there before TWC ever investigated it.
Oh wow.
There was some other place too. And Beatty Mansion in St. Joe. We were there before that was on Paranormal Lockdown. So we'll watch those just to see what they captured compared to what we caught and everything. That's kind of neat. But as far as watching them every week, we just, we don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
We used to, 3 or 4 years ago, we'd watch every show. It was like, Just
before we got involved in the field,
Yeah.
we would watch it religiously.
Yeah.
But then when you get involved in the field, you start realizing how fake this stuff really is.
Dramatized. I would say
It's dramatized. And I understand that they have such a short amount of time that they have to condense everything down into.
Right.
But like I feel like they could do a
watch
better
show,
job.
and I'm yelling like, "That's not possible! There's no way that can do the way it did," And I'm like, I'll be yelling and cussing at the TV. She's like, "Well, we're doing it."
And I do the same thing. So,
and that's why I love you guys, because I do the same thing. I feel like it's like I go like a psychopath, because like I said, I really cuss like a trucker. I have to just walk away.
We heard you before the show.
I know. My bad. I'm so sorry. My bad, you guys. My bad. Wait a minute. I think I'm looking for my halo. Wait a minute. It's over there somewhere.
Bullshit. You don't have a halo.
Yeah.
That's what I say to him.
I mean, Sean.
You might play the game Halo.
Yeah, really.
That's like saying I have a Halo. I don't know.
Do you see what Ron typed about Josh Gates? He's right about that.
He's a modern Indiana Jones. And you know what? I loved Indiana Jones when I was a kid.
Same here.
Oh.
I still love Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
I will watch it. Like, I think I've seen all the Indiana Jones like at least 10 bazillion. I will watch him every time. I will cry when he ever passes away, because he is like my dude. I love Harrison Ford.
Yeah, we have one of them. I don't know if you've seen the picture on Facebook. We have one of them 12-foot movie screens. We'll throw for our backyard. We'll get out there and pull out the projector, watch Ghostbusters, Indiana Jones, Goonies. I don't know if you ever seen Goonies or not.
Goonies, yeah.
Hey, you
guys! About the backyard,
Chuck!
Goonies never say die, right? That's one of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that movie. I try to get my kids to watch. My kids these days, they don't know good entertainment.
Yeah,
they don't know.
Oh my goodness. I try to get them to watch The Princess Bride. I try to get them to watch all the good stuff. And they're like, "This is stupid, Dad." I'm like, okay, go and watch your YouTube.
On Goonies, do you remember when they went down the slide and they fell in the water and the ship was there?
Yeah.
Do you know that they filmed that one time? The kids didn't even know what to expect going down the water slide.
Really?
That was a total surprise when that ship was there.
That's awesome.
They filmed. That was one film. It was one take, and that was all what it was.
Serena,
no clue what was at the bottom of the water slide.
Even Linda Dix says Halo. Seriously? Linda Dix is calling you out.
Okay, I ain't gonna lie. I have horns, and I'm proud of my horns. I'm not gonna lie. I'll be rocking them. Mine are like glow sticks. I'm just saying.
Whatever. You got horns with the angel wings. You're like that. I don't know. You're like that beautiful demon that
I am. I'm a Nephilim. I'm part Nephilim. Yeah, I'm a part Nephilim. Fallen angel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. See, Nick says the kids don't know what they're missing out on. Yeah. Our movies from back in the day were way better. They really were. What about like the Labyrinth? It's like, seriously, like, come on. They don't stuff like that anymore. The Dark Crystal. Oh, the kids won't even sit through that. I try to get them to watch the new Dark Crystal series. They wouldn't sit through that. I'm like, come on.
My favorite ever, The Lost Boys. The Lost Boys. Let me tell you, that movie is just like golden for me. I don't know. It just, the music, the soundtrack, everything. Donald Sutherland, it was like, I loved it. That was
That was
just
a good
me.
movie.
They don't make
Yeah.
anything like they used to.
They don't. What about even like the baseball movie? What was the one about the baseball? The kids play the baseball field with the dog.
I don't remember.
Oh,
I
I know. Angels in the Outfield.
No, that's different.
That's it.
I can't
don't
think
remember it.
I can't think of it. It's about these kids back in the day, and they would always play baseball. And there was a big Saint Bernard or something in the backyard, and they hit the balls over there. They had to get the ball. Get the ball. Oh, I don't remember. I'll think of it when the show ends. But I think that's like they don't come out with stuff like that anymore.
No.
Even like the horror movies aren't the same. Sandlot, yes, that's
Thank you, Steve.
even like the horror movies aren't the same. Like,
let me tell you what, Nightmare on Elm Street. Freddy scared the shit out of me. I would not go to sleep. And my mama said, "You better go to sleep." I said, "No. Freddy's coming to get me, Mama."
Freddy's
Sorry.
coming to get me. Oh, 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you. 3, 4, better lock your door. 5, 6, get your crucifix. 7, 8, better sleep. Stay up late. 9, 10, never sleep again.
I can't believe you actually remember that. You totally get 5 gold stars.
I knew half of it. He gets. Yeah, that's pretty good.
So, what movie do you think is the scariest movie that came out?
Hellraiser fucked me up.
Is Hellraiser the one where he's got all those nails?
Yeah, that's Hellraiser.
Pinhead, yes.
The creepiest movie is the ones that I can't watch is Saw.
Saw. Those movies are like gore for the sake of gore, though. That's
I cannot watch
I can't watch those. I'm not a gore person. I like horror, or I like the psychological thrillers that is gonna just like stick in your mind, and you're just like, I need a snuggle buddy to go to sleep because this shit is just like, you know. So what's the psycho? It's like
what about like the original? What about like the original Omen?
Ooh, Damon, yeah. Tami, what was the one that you were talking about just now?
Hellraiser.
Yes.
Hellraiser was a good one. Phantasm.
The first time I saw that movie, and the only time I saw that movie, I was in high school. We had a sleepover for one of my clubs that I was in at our high school. We were locked in our high school. They decided to show Hellraiser.
Nice.
So you're going down the hallways to go to the bathroom in these dark hallways. Oh no.
And now you know what? I can't watch any of that. The Japanese movies freak me out, like The Grudge, where she's coming through the TV and she's up on the wall and all that creepy where
that
they're
noise that it makes.
Oh my god! It's just like, oh, Sean Gilmore, don't do that. I'm gonna be like freaking out on Tami. Stop him! He's being bad. Hey,
you're gonna give me nightmares.
I know, right?
What was the one? I don't think it was The Exorcist. I think it was like the second installment of the movie, and they're in a hospital, and they had like the statue of the Virgin Mary like walk across the hospital, like real creepy.
I don't remember that one.
Oh, what was that from?
I don't know, but I'm not watching it.
That scene scared me so much when I was a kid.
Well, we're gonna have to find it, because if it scares you, I want to do it, because you scared the bejeebers out of me now. That shit will be like in my mind, man. I'm like, I'll be like, can't go to sleep. That chick be crawling across my freaking roof with my ceiling or something. I'm telling you. Oh yes, or The Ring. The Ring is. I don't know why the Japanese ones just how they film it is just a whole other aspect, you know what I'm saying? Because like most American movies, if it's a horror movie, 99% your mind's going to tell you this is good cinema, whatever, what they do. But the Japanese one, they have some really scary shit in their folklore. You know what I mean? And their supernatural and paranormal stuff. I mean, it's some creepy shit like that. We should do something about like foreign myths and folklore and stuff about like banshees and all that kind of different things like that, because what is interesting to me and in America, when we do paranormal, we have certain types of ghosts and entities, but as we go expand out international, like Irish, they have the banshees, they have like that one castle that they go to where it has that banshee that they see, or just different types of spirits that are all over the world, for paranormal investigators of what they experience. I just think it's neat how every place has their different types of paranormal, anomalies.
Okay. I found it.
What? This is me with Sean Gilmore. Don't let me say it. It's scary. Tami, I is so scared. Oh my God, and you're gonna play it? Wonderful.
Oh God.
I know. Tami.
No sound though. No sound. I don't think you guys can hear it.
Thank you, Jesus.
So they just show them here.
Not yet.
Sean Gilmore. I really hate you right now. God, I hate you forever. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Sean Gilmore, really?
That's funny.
Oh my
That's
God.
from The Exorcist. It was at the third Exorcist.
I'm an old lady. I need my nitroglycerin. I swear.
Waiting and waiting and waiting, and nothing was happening, and then all of a sudden it was there. I was like, I'm holding on to Jim.
I feel like Fred Sanford. I'm coming, Elizabeth.
Oh yeah, that one. I always think of that when I think of scary movies. I think of that scene where that stitch. So yeah, I have to give credit. Sorry for I don't know what the rules are for playing stuff like that, but that is definitely from Exorcist 3, and it was worth playing because it we got to scream at Serena.
Thank you, Sean. Yeah. Okay.
That's funny.
It's hilarious. I don't know.
We talk about everything.
What do you even follow that with? Serena's screaming. I mean, I didn't even have my headphones on. I was like, you know what? I'm going to give them sound. I put my headphones up to the mic. I heard Serena scream from like a foot away. Oh, it is loud.
My heart still's like going. Boom, 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 boom. Okay.
I think we lost some for that.
Look, I apologize that I screamed like a Bee Queen movie screen. Queen, it was just I blame Sean Gilmore. I do.
So Nick says a fact for Exorcist 3: serial killer Jeffrey Dahmer was a fan of the movie and would watch it prior to doing his killing spree. He claimed that it put him in the mood.
Oh my God.
That's creepy.
So if I go on a massive killing spree tomorrow because my job pisses me off, I'm gonna just say Sean Gilmore.
You're gonna blame it on me. Oh, great.
Thank God I work from home, so I can't really kill nobody. So I'm just saying. I would never hurt anybody, really.
Oh, that's too funny, though. But see, that's why we watch that stuff, though. But those movies were always like really scary.
Yep.
Wow. So,
yeah.
Oh, someone a while ago said was on Spreaker. I never get messages on Spreaker. I got one on today's show from Brian Bobo. Brian, if you're still listening, thank you so much. And it's going pretty good. How about yourself?
All right, on.
There we go.
All right.
So, wow. With that, guys, I think that this is a good note to end the show. I wish I could get a replay, do a loop of Zarina screaming. Ah!
Remember, I do have a lot of open, empty jars, Sean.
That's all right. You give me stuff to protect myself.
I would never hurt you. I love you, bro. You're my brother from another mother. Yeah.
Oh, my son is on. He says, "Yo." All right.
Yo, Thomas.
Crow. So, all right. Well, I want to thank both.
Shut up, Sean. Tami, get him. I'm telling you, I need my backup. I need my woman backup right now.
You would think that a chaos witch such as yourself wouldn't be so scared of a movie.
Listen, I ain't scared of the devil or any demon, but let me tell you, when you play something like that, yeah, I'm gonna scream my balls off because it's a whole other thing.
Nick even says that. He says, I hope Serena will be able to sleep well tonight after watching that clip. You know what? She's gonna watch some episodes of Friends and she'll be good.
I don't watch Friends. Oh. I house party. I'm a house party girl. I'll be on there, I'll be in a locked room, but I'll be talking to my peeps, yo.
Oh, you're on the house party talking to people. Yeah. The house party, the movie with Kid and Play.
No.
I know too much about movies. I've watched too many movies. So, all right. So we're gonna go so that Zarina can go and watch Seinfeld.
No.
And
no. Zarina is watching City of Angels premiere with about Penny, the second part of Penny Dreadful. You know what I'm talking about?
I do actually.
Yeah.
That's not like funny kind of stuff. Like,
no, it's like it has about Saint Birthday on it. So I'm a Saint Birthday fan. So yeah.
Well, we're gonna let you get to that. Have you seen the new Sabrina TV show?
Of course.
Netflix.
I love it.
Yeah.
I like it because it's really dark and dirty.
It is really dark and dirty. It makes me feel dirty when I watch it.
And it's not no fluffy, thing. I like it dark, dark and dirty like that. So, all right, I was sipping my tea.
We're making our guests feel uncomfortable.
Okay, sorry, my bad. Look, they've already went the whole gamut from A to B with us today. So if they were going to jump ship, they would have did it 10 minutes into the game. I think they are fully aware of the chaos and the calamity and the craziness that Zarina Crow brings to this kind of thing. So, and Sean is the really, he's the USA in my life. He's like the balance of everything. For real.
I'm a balance. Okay.
Yes, you are. You're like my, I'm like, you're the Bill to my Ted. I'm just saying. Be excellent.
So, like, I'm Wayne to the Garth?
No, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Yeah, I went to the Wayne to the Garth.
There you go.
Yeah.
Wayne's World.
Wayne's World. Wayne's World. Sorry.
The Beavis to the Butthead.
Yes, very much so. Fire. Fire.
Okay. All right. We have lost all credibility in today's show.
We don't have no viewers or nothing right now. We lost all the viewer watchers.
Wait, we got three on there.
Tami and Jim are just like, we're just gonna let them talk and
yeah.
I'm laughing so hard I'm crying. Oh shoot. This has been fun.
I have had a blast. I'm telling you.
We try to have fun on the show and keep it lighthearted and try and get some of the knowledge out there and have fun with everybody. So
I will say it's like paranormal cards for humanity. I've had a blast with you guys. I'm just saying.
It's been fun.
It has been fun.
Well, thank you, Jim and Tami, for coming on. We really do appreciate you guys dealing with our shenanigans and everything. Seriously, though, we should. I mean, we're not horribly far from each other. I'm just over here in Ohio. We should, once the virus goes away, we should work something out. So go and investigate somewhere. I mean, it's just you two. So I could imagine having a big old empty building just to me and my one other person, my wife.
It's a blast.
I bet. That's like that.
But normally we do most of our investigation just us.
That to me, like when you think of when I go on investigation and you have a group of 5 to 10 people, there is actually a level of security that you feel knowing that, hey, I have a buddy that's 2 floors down from me, but you guys don't get that luxury of knowing, hey, we know somebody, a good friend of ours is 2 floors down from us. So we have that security. It's just you two, unless you guys have your buddy. I'm sorry, I'm so horrible with names.
Steve
goes with us a lot, but not all the time.
But we don't ever split up, so we always stay together.
So if we hear a noise in another room, we know it's nobody because it's just the 2 of us,
Right. I mean, that makes sense. That definitely makes sense.
I need to make a team down here because I'm a very lonely investigator down here. I'm just saying.
Do it.
I am. I've already am on it, but I'm not just going to talk about it because I don't nobody steal my idea.
Can you tell that that's happened a couple times? So, Nick, buddy, don't worry about it. Nick, he's got a special project that he's going to be talking to us about, and he's
awesome.
Saying sorry about not getting the bio. Don't worry about it. Not a huge rush at this point, but soon we will be in a rush. Wow. So again, guys, you're welcome back on anytime. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for having us.
Yes, thank you for having us.
Oh, no
and problem. I absolutely love you guys a lot. Sorry.
And with that, we will bid you adieu. So thank you so much. Everyone have a fantastic night. Have a wonderful rest of your week. If you have something you want to promote or just want to talk paranormal with us on our podcast, please contact us either on Facebook or at 330paradad.com or 330paradad@gmail.com because I totally messed up my email address on that. But okay. Thank you again, everybody. Have a great night.
Thank you.
Good night, everyone.
Good night. Bye.
let's